Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coast to Coast. It is
Welcome to Coast
beautiful
to Coast.
Monday, 9/11 of 2024.
Monday.
Wednesday.
Oh, shit. God damn it.
Brother, the Jets have already played the Niners. Hello?
Yeah, he
Brother.
wasn't here
Oh,
to watch the game.
I fucked that one up. God damn it, man. Anyway, it's
Ah,
Wednesday,
damn.
September 11th, 2024. I'm with my
Yeah, we
boys
definitely
here.
don't want the Jets to be playing on 9/11.
Yeah, very true. It was close.
Yeah.
It was pretty close. Instead, it was 9
It
9.
was
A
indeed.
tragedy on 9 9 as well. Uh,
Yeah.
So, boys, what's going on? How's our week been?
It's been goaded, honestly. I have Saturday night off for
Good.
UFC 306, and I cannot wait.
Wow. Is that all that's happened that's made it goaded?
No, the Royals are about to beat the Yankees on 9/11, and that's awesome.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Let's see the
It's
baseball scores.
it's 3-3 going into the top of the 11th.
Oh, well, you don't exactly have it in the bag yet.
Dude, we have it in the bag.
Yeah. Did you say that in the top of the 10th as well?
We had it in the bag then too. We're just giving them an extra chance.
Gotcha. Okay. Sure. Whatever you say, man. Happy for you.
In other news, the Costco family is still the best family. The Rizzler is him, and yeah,
Listen, I don't know about that statement.
They're
About the
living the
Costco guys.
American dream. That's what it's all about, honestly.
Listen, no,
the
listen.
Costco family is better than Donald Trump.
No, listen.
Oh,
Oh, that's for sure.
not a high
Listen,
bar.
I have a problem
Yeah,
with Big
which.
Justice.
Oh
I have a
no.
problem with Big
Okay,
Justice.
well, let's hear you out before we put you on the stake and burn you.
Oh, okay. I feel like Big Justice is jealous of the Rizzler.
You
Oh.
feel like Big Justice is jealous of the dude? Any football fan listening right now has no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Oh, I think they do. They're cultured. They're cultured people. Give them some credit.
That's fair.
So
As I
Yeah.
was saying,
when do you think the beef started?
I don't know necessarily when it started, but I noticed it especially on that episode that they made where they had to, there's like two rows of bottles, right? One of which you can't see and the one on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to put them accordingly, right?
Oh yeah.
The Rizzler was cooking that shit up, okay?
Okay.
And in fucking Big Justice, excuse my language, right? He was backseat gaming the fuck out of the Rizzler.
Oh.
Listen, that video I think was 4 minutes long. That shit should have been 1 minute long. The Rizzler had it. The Rizzler had it like that.
So they weren't
You know?
He
taking
had it
turns.
in the bag.
Huh?
They weren't taking turns
Yeah,
because I've seen this game where they take turns
they
and
were. They
you. Oh,
were.
okay.
But when it was Rizzler's turn, Big Justice was like, Put it on that side. Put it
Oh
on there."
yeah.
Nah, bro. I got beef. I got beef right then and there, bro.
Ooh! In other breaking news, Asia Wilson sets the WNBA single season points record.
W.
In other news. Well, that's cool. Yeah, haven't really followed the WNBA this season.
Ever.
Yeah, a little bit more
I
than
will
I
say
usually
though,
do, though. I will say that.
I will say I will give a comment though, since we're talking about the WNBA.
Sure.
Caitlin Clark is a rookie of the year, bro. We gotta stop
It's
with
not
this
even close,
nonsense.
dude.
We
Yeah,
gotta stop with this nonsense,
it's
bro. We
not
gotta stop with
close.
this nonsense.
The only thing that is a little frustrating about the Angel Reese injury is that now
Got hurt?
People are gonna use it as an excuse.
exactly her entire fan base that hates Caitlin Clark. We can't just like or enjoy two basketball players
No, we
playing the
cannot.
game.
We have
We
to
have
create
to
a
hate
leaf.
the
We
other
have
one.
to.
So the
We have to
Angel
create a
Reese
leaf.
hater or the Angel Reese fans, the Caitlin Clark haters, now have an excuse to say like, well, guess what? Angel Reese didn't finish the season. Of course, Clark's gonna win now. As opposed to no,
Yeah,
Clark just had it in the bag the whole time. She's an unreal athlete, but whatever.
yeah. Rufi hates Justin Herbert because he likes Tua.
I do not. Hey, listen, I do not hate Justin Herbert. Okay, I can tell you a few of the other guys that I hate. Just remember, it's not one of them. I think he's a hell of a
Dude.
player. I think he's had an unfortunate career path in regards to his situation.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
He would
think it's a good
definitely be
question.
playing way better in the winter than Tua. Too bad his team can't get him there.
Next question.
Well,
So who's going to be the starting running back on Thursday Night Football?
HN. I'm not sure why HN was listed as limited, for today's practice, because media was saying that he did every single drill with no problem whatsoever,
I
no red
did
shirts
see
going on.
that.
So
What's the status on Raheem, the mustard man? Mostert.
Mosert's not playing. Mosert's not playing, but I think HN is a full go. Probably a few snaps to Jeff Wilson, maybe Jalen Wright, but I feel like HN's for sure gonna play.
Ooh. Is Jalen Wright below Jeff Wilson on the depth chart?
Probably for the start of the season. Yeah, probably for now. And
although
Jeff
I
Wilson is a really solid
Gross.
guy. Jeff Wilson is really solid. Made a really few clutch plays.
I do think
Last week.
though, if Achan wasn't playing this game, I think Wright would get more carries than Wilson.
I do think so because the Miami would need that dynamism from Wright.
Yeah.
But from the time being, I think HN Wilson will be the runners.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
if we're on the topic of NFL, we can always get into our recap and predictions if you guys want. It is
Um,
Sounds good to
overreaction
me.
yes,
season, as we all know.
yes, it
Dude,
is.
the Saints are going to the fucking Super Bowl.
All right, listen. I understand, but like, come on. I mean,
We're beating the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to go watch that game with my dad because he's a Cowboys fan.
listen, W if that happens. Okay.
That would be something.
Honestly, we're doing God's work if we do that.
Yes. Truly.
So
Truly.
I mean, I have a few takes for every game, I guess. Not for every single game, but are we going game by game? How do you guys want to do this?
Yeah, let's go game by game and give
Yeah.
like a quick minute reaction.
Yeah, maybe we can do like a 3-word exercise or something. In 3
Ooh,
words,
I like
describe
that.
each game.
Okay.
Cool. I don't even know if I can do
Alrighty.
this. But we'll see how it goes.
It's harder than you think. It's harder than you
Yeah,
think.
we'll see how
3
it goes.
words. It's
Okay,
harder.
one
Okay,
sentence. It doesn't have to be 3 words. 1 sentence.
Okay, 3. Okay, all right, cool. All right, 1 sentence.
All right, for the Chiefs Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got my 3 words.
3 words exactly, not a full sentence.
Yep, 3 words.
All right, shoot.
Go for it.
Best possible outcome. This was a highly entertaining game. It hit all the notes that you want the first game of the year to hit. Everything looked presentable. They actually did what they were said they were going to do with the harping on the illegal formations penalties. They called it consistently. Both teams looked very competitive and good throughout the entirety of this game, and I felt like everything went well.
Just since we're talking about the illegal formations here, not nearly as many was called on the Sunday slate. So, and I saw some few questionable placements by offensive linemen that maybe should have been called.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
Illegal
interesting.
formation.
There was
So I'm not sure how they're looking
There
at
was
that.
one called on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Against John Simpson, who was a former Raven. So it's kind of weird how, or interesting or funny, whatever you want to call it, how a lot of Ravens or former Ravens players were called on.
Maybe some of their alignments, right?
Yeah.
There was this very egregious one by Wills. Or was it Wirfs? I think it was Wirfs.
It would be
It was
worse
worse
if it
'cause
was
Wills
the
is
Bucks.
injured.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so it was definitely Wirfs. I just always mixed them together because the name and same class, but Wirfs, it was Wills or Wirfs. I again forgot.
Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs.
Brain rot. So Wirfs was he was at least 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage and nothing was called. Like, you did not even have to be in the ref's alignment to see that. It was egregious. So I'm
Mhm.
not sure how it wasn't called, but they're definitely tuning in on illegal formation, and I think it's been a problem, by the way. A lot of tackles they align really, really far.
Oh yeah,
from the
I
line of
just wish
scrimmage.
they would call false starts as well.
Yeah, we saw a few, right? When we were looking at the
There were quite a
tape yesterday?
few. Yes.
There were quite a few. Yeah, there were quite
And
a few.
I just feel like certain
players.
players just for some reason get away with them more than other ones, and it's really frustrating. But Barufi, do you have 3 words or one sentence for this game?
I mean, just the fact that they're both still very good. You know, expect both to be high contenders. Obviously, the Chiefs, but I already had the Ravens winning the division going in the year. I don't see how that will change for the time being, especially with the Bengals again disappointing. And I'm already not that high on the Bengals anyway, but so still have the Ravens winning the division, Chiefs
Mhm.
obviously. So
Okay.
um, as in game quality, it was higher game quality than expected for a week 1 game. You know, both teams played very well. It was a very good game,
Yeah.
and like Jacob said, very entertaining. Right, decided by a toenail. So
Hmm. I do think, and this is going to be kind of my sentence, close but comfortable, which is
yeah,
weird because
yes,
it does end almost on
that
a
as
tie
well.
game. But I do think that the Chiefs pretty clearly outplayed them
Mm-hmm.
throughout the game. Not that the Ravens weren't a good team in this game. I do think that there was maybe a little bit of rust to shake off in certain areas. I don't know. Lamar had a good game, but he wasn't as explosive on the ground or in through the air, of course, as we would
Yeah.
maybe expect from him after last season. The defense, it definitely felt like it was missing something. And they lost Mike McDonald in the offseason, but it's also Mahomes and the Chiefs in week 1. So you don't want to overreact from something like that, but it might be something you want to monitor in the coming weeks, depending on who the quarterbacks that they're going to be playing against. So,
Okay,
Absolutely.
fair enough.
all right. And we'll just go in the order that I have on the screen here. So all the AFC
That's okay.
matchups first, and then we'll move on to the other ones, even if they were, afternoon slates before whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
The shocker of the week and absolute fucking embarrassment of the week as well. A game that we said the Patriots should not have had any chance of winning, and they just do it because it's week 1 and because the Bengals look awful on Sunday morning. Yeah, Patriots win 16-10, boys. What do you guys have?
Um,
Uh, Go ahead, Brucey.
when are we gonna start holding Joe Burrow accountable for the Bengals? Because
Okay, I don't agree with that, dude.
okay, all right, that's exactly what
Okay,
I'm talking about.
he had no. Listen, he had one fumble, and then both times they were about to score fumbles from other
Again,
players.
I don't care. You still only scored 10 points. You're supposed to beat the snot out of this team,
Okay,
bro.
he should have had 24.
I get
And you
I
still
get
had the
what you're
other
saying,
drives.
Jacob, and the turnovers were brutal, especially that Tanner Hudson one. That was fucking absurd. What are you doing with the ball, man? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Um, I do have to agree with Barufi as well, though. It's not just Burrow for me; it's this entire team and their play calling, their coaching, whatever you want to call it. The fact that they start like this every year, I understand. It's like, oh, we should come to expect this. It's a slow start. They always start slow. It,
There's
that's
no
not
excuse for it.
exactly.
enough.
There's
Like
no
enough,
excuse for it. Like
enough.
you are a good football team. Why the fuck are we doing this? This is so dumb. You are drastically, like, if you start a season 0-3, even if you are the Chiefs, that makes it a
In
lot
that
more
division,
difficult to
in that
go
conference, you can't be
exactly
doing this.
in the
Can't be
end.
doing this.
Like the Chiefs, at least in that hypothetical scenario, they're the clear favorite in that division. They don't have a lot of competition outside of that. But
Nope.
in the AFC North, all 4 of these teams could realistically make the postseason, depending on what
Yeah.
you believe about the Steelers. I mean, you cannot be doing this in week 1. There's only 17 games to play. I'm sick of the slow start excuse. I understand that's how they play the game. That's not a good way to play the game. Stop doing that. That's fucking
It's
stupid.
not even. It's not even a how they play the game, right? It's not. It's not like they're trying to do that. It's just
No,
like
they're not trying to lose, but
I,
I think you can very clearly tell. Like, for
yeah.
some reason,
The
this is
the
ingrained in their culture. I don't know why.
yeah. The because the word is not sloppy. I don't think the what people
It's
see this.
lazy.
It's lazy. It's like underestimating your opponent. You cannot be doing that shit. It's the NFL. You cannot be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about it all week. We are all like, this is a game where nobody should be picking the Patriots, but for some reason, it's very possible the Patriots win.
In hindsight, like we probably should have expected this, like in a way, right? Because not them actually losing, but the game should have been closer. You know, it was like what 99 to 1%. in ESPN. Maybe in hindsight, maybe more people should have picked us because
Yeah, and that was the
I
other
think
thing
it's
for
just
me
not
too.
consistent.
Was Jacoby Brissett starting?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
really,
Like it's not even Drake May. Not even
yeah,
that you can say like,
I
oh, Drake May
really
balled
thought that
out.
hindered their
Not even that.
chances. But
And Brissett didn't even play that great either.
he wasn't
No,
great,
he
but
looked
he
bad,
took care of the
and that's
football.
what pisses me off the most about this game is that's going to be what Gerard Mayo falls back on whenever he's like getting challenged on why Drake May isn't starting. Well, Jacoby Brissett puts us in position to win games. You can see clearly that he did that week 1 against the Bengals, who are going to be a top contender in the AFC.
Yeah.
Fucking irritating.
Yeah, I just don't know what to say with the Bengals. I guess in 3 words, just fucking awful. Like, and inexcusable. It's unbelievable. Every season they do this.
I think in every single power ranking that's made, purely analyzing teams how they look week 1, if power ranking doesn't have the Bengals below 20, it's very unserious. And I'm being generous with 20. Very,
I
very
think it's
generous.
also unserious that the Saints are below 20 on every single power ranking I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, if we're evaluating week 1 purely, people are just they call it power rankings, but they're like, oh, this is how teams are gonna look in the next week. No, dude, it's how teams look in the last week. No, it's not a hard concept.
It really isn't.
Not a hard concept.
Yep.
So, I mean, you guys know my thoughts on the Bengals. It's not the first time I say this.
I've been a Bengals
Yeah.
defender for years, and it's just getting tiring at this point.
Yeah, and it's
And
tough. I mean,
my thing with Joe Burrow that I was getting into, by the way, is you can maybe argue for the future. Oh, I would have Joe Burrow over this guy and this guy. There's a few guys I'll take over Joe Burrow right now, and by a few I mean a few, like as in a handful. I'm more than that even. I
yeah,
mean,
I mean he
right
can't.
now, you like,
He doesn't
I'm
seem to be able to win these types of games,
he's
and
getting
you
he's
have to be
getting
able
way too
to.
much leeway. Way too much leeway.
That kind of does speak to the first overall pick bias as well. But
Mm-hmm.
we've talked. I feel like we talked about that at length at other points in the show's history, so we don't have to.
Fortunate. I'll give you an example. If you gave me an option of Burrow and Purdy, I would take Purdy in a heartbeat. Like not even close.
Um, it's
I wouldn't even think
close.
about it. No, it's not. Right now, it's not close. I wouldn't even
Today,
think about it.
today it's Purdy. Yes, especially with how
Nah,
he
I
played
I
on
wouldn't even
Monday,
think about it.
which we'll
I
get
would
That's
to.
take
fair.
right now. I'm taking Herbert over Burrow. I'm taking Dak over Burrow. Right now, yeah. I mean, yeah.
All right. Up next, the Miami Dolphins come back in the game and emerge victorious over the Jaguars, 20-17. Barufi, you were at this game. How do you
I
feel?
was. Well, I came home and I almost had no voice. This game was out of all the games that I've seen Miami win, it was probably the biggest like grown up football that I've seen from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm proud of this team because every time we win a game, when we were contenders, I mean, it's always we go ahead and we beat the crap out of the team from the beginning and we keep our lead, we keep pushing gas in the paddle, and that's easy. It is easy to play in front, play your game plan is working, but it's harder to make adjustments. You're down 14, you have to change everything. You have to be strong-minded, you know, win in the trenches, and it's not something Miami has done. This is a game Miami does not win in the last 2 seasons. They would have started 0-1 with other narratives, yada yada. So I'm very proud of how they came back in this game. Play calling really tying up both sides of the ball. Running game is something I have to watch for next week. It's not something Miami got going, but they did get really good usage out of our running backs.
Mm-hmm.
In the passing game and down the stretch as well. Again, I said earlier, Jeff Wilson had a few clutch runs. I think that's all I have to say right now. I mean, I like the defense as a whole. Second half was phenomenal.
Yeah, my 3 words are going to be, well, it's 5, but a tale of 2 halves. That
Yep.
seemed to be a lot of the case. Miami came out, started slow. I don't think many people really expected that. Jacksonville looked
No.
fantastic on both sides of the ball. in the first half of the game, and they
Mm-hmm.
weren't awful in the second half either. But the offense did struggle to put up points. Yet, and then there were a lot of clutch plays by Miami. There was the 14-point swing between two plays, two
Yep.
consecutive plays with the ETN fumble at the goal line, and then the massive Tyreek Hill score right afterwards. And that's just such a momentum killer, and it felt like at that point, I think Miami was still trailing at that point, but
It was
that was
17-14, but the
such
momentum was all on
yeah, that was
Miami's side.
such a
All on Miami.
huge swing in the
Which,
game.
by the way, let me add on to you speaking of the fumble. I've seen a lot of people talk about how shameful it is for Miami to depend on that fumble, right?
Dog, it's
Um,
a football play. Shut the fuck up.
Not only is it a football play, is Miami has playmakers on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You have playmakers to make plays. I mean, what are we doing here? Javon Holland is a playmaker. He has
I can't
forced multiple
believe
fumbles
people
in his
really
career.
are saying that.
Yes, people are really
Holy
saying that.
shit, man! It's
I've seen a lot of people say that.
those same people are probably the people that are like, oh my fucking god, can this guy actually play a good defense? And it's like, what do you want him to do? Lose to a bad
Yeah.
defense? Like, he's
Yeah.
fucking dominant, that type of thing. That's really frustrating that some people are saying
Javon
that.
Holland made a phenomenal play. That's a really hard fumble to make. So it's not even lucky, by the way. A lot of people saying that as
Yeah,
well.
like
It's
the
not a
fucking
lucky fumble.
the
It's a
throw that
phenomenal
made,
play.
like what Anthony said, the fucking throw that Drake May made against or in the preseason. Like, oh well, it's a good second string. I was like, dog, he has a dude coming in his face.
Yes,
Pause,
like why
and
does
then
it
he
matter?
throws it downfield.
I mean, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Like,
That's a great example. Exactly.
It's just like,
um,
what do you want from him to not be able to make an insane fucking play?
Right.
Well, he needs to do it against the ones. Like, dog, he just did the exact same thing he would do if it was fucking Aaron Donald in front of him. It doesn't
It
matter
was
who it is. He still had to do it in front of him.
they did that with
also
rookie
another.
QBs all preseason though. It was Bo Nix did the same thing. Had a really nice touchdown throw. I don't remember who it was against, but everyone's like, "Oh, it's just against backups." Who cares? It's a good throw and it's a good play. Like same thing with Caleb Williams against the Bengals
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
preseason. Oh, it's their backups. Like, are we not going to credit a good play when it happens? Like, it's
Or the
such a
fucking
weird.
pessimistic assholes who on
And
that Caleb Williams throw were just like, it's okay. He paints his nails. He's gonna be a bust anyway. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
on that same note, same thing with Tua's pass to Tyreek that resulted in a touchdown. Obviously, Tyreek was half the play. It was a phenomenal run.
Dude, it's
Phenomenal.
gonna be
Yeah,
one of those TikTok videos where it's like easy touchdown, all wide receiver.
yes. Like I mean, Tua put the ball exactly where it has to be for Tyreek to catch that and run the way he did. And
Mm-hmm.
but people just don't understand that. Like they don't understand deep ball accuracy. Speaking of deep ball accuracy, right?
Tua
Since
look
we're
good.
speaking, Tua looked good. A few plays that he wishes he had back on the first half. He missed a few guys deep that he usually doesn't. Second half he had great stats. He played a solid game. He played again grown man football. He made very few mistakes. I think he didn't have a single turnover worthy play. There's one that you might discuss on a was it a fourth down? It was a fourth down play. But the linebacker really didn't have a chance to intercept it anyway. It was a good PBU, but couldn't really intercept that.
Right.
So it was a decent game by Tua. I know he can do better though. And I mean, you might box score watch and look at the stats. Like he played really good, but
Yeah.
he can't play better. He can't play better. Same thing for T-Law, by the way. His stats might not say how well he played. I think he had a good game as well. Maybe he should have. And I probably blame Doug Peterson more for that. For the second half.
I haven't given my 3 words, but they were gonna be same old Jags.
Uh, Probably the play calling and the choking. It happens a lot.
Yeah, the play calling was the biggest thing I was gonna bring up here.
Oh my
And
god!
speaking of the play
Fourth and
calling,
one.
that fourth and one, you cannot do that, bro. You cannot do
I
that. Bro.
could
I'm banging my
do.
table, bro. As a Dolphins fan, I'm banging my table. You
Yeah.
cannot do that, bro. You cannot do
You
that.
could probably make a 10-minute compilation of Doug Peterson on either the Jaguars or the Eagles. That very similar fucking run play on fourth and one, and it never converts. It's so
by the
bad.
way,
It's so poorly designed on the blocks. Everything
Mhm.
about it.
But speaking
Something
on
that
that
still
fourth and
hasn't
one,
been mentioned, same old Jags, they still can't tap their toes. They still can't make easy catches.
Yeah,
That
those
Kirk
two
drop was
drops are Christian
wild.
Kirk.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Though
Um,
Brian Thomas Jr. That was a
he
fantastic
looked
throw and a
good.
good
He
catch at the
looked
back
good.
of the end zone.
Brian
So
Thomas. Brian
Yep.
Thomas is a dog.
You want to
I
talk
like
about a
him.
fantastic throw with the back of the end zone catch? That Derek Carr touchdown pass to Foster Moreau on the
It
run
was. It
across
was.
his
yeah,
body.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
that was
good.
I
that
thought it was going
was
to be intercepted.
speaking of Jaguars. That was shades of Brock Purdy against the Jaguars on their opening touchdown drive. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but he rolls out. He kind of throws it across the field again to the very back of the end zone, and Ayuk just
Mhm.
comes up and it lays right in his hands, just over the, like, just the perfect amount of touch. And it was super risky ball, but very
Yeah.
similar play.
When Carr
Yeah.
threw it, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? That's going to get picked. And then it caught for a touchdown. I went ballistic, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because great QBs make plays. And Derek Carr is a great QB.
uh,
Uh,
speaking
one more
of,
good thing.
oh, go ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say on the Jag side, I think Gisby looked good as well. He had a few really good runs.
Yeah, I thought both Tank Bigsby and Bucky Irving looked good, who I feel very similarly about them. They're running back twos that are behind really good young running backs that are both very good power and speed backs.
Mm-hmm. I think it's enough for Dolphins Jags. I could talk about this game for a lot longer, but all in all, proud of the team. That was a grown man
You
win.
came to week one with a win. We all did. That's what matters.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Um,
Can't complain about a win on week one.
And I was going to say, since we're on the topic of great throws from this week,
Mhm.
the next game is Houston at Indianapolis, where Houston
Mhm.
escapes with a victory, 29-27, in a good old fashioned division thriller. Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson, that
Yeah, phenomenal
he is
throw.
going to be doing this all season if he stays healthy. It's going to be just what the fuck? How did he do that type of
Yeah,
splash plays? And then
Dude, I
how the
can't
fuck
lie.
do you not make that throw type of plays right afterwards? You know?
Yeah,
I can't lie.
yeah.
Because the electric throw came first, I thought for a second Anthony Richardson might have just like an insane game, and this might be one of those where he just like doesn't miss. I was
Yeah.
like, Anthony's about to be in shambles.
Yeah. Me
Then
too.
he-
I have a very similar stance on Richardson as Anthony.
And then
I like Richardson.
No, I know you like Richardson, but you're also like cool your Jets on this one. So it would have been a
Yes.
little frustrating if he then just not
Yeah,
proved all the believers right.
yeah, that's very
Because you're
very fair.
cautiously optimistic, and there's a lot of people who are just blindly optimistic, and that's what pisses you off is when they're blindly
Yes.
optimistic.
Yeah, I think you
Yes.
have to recognize the concerns, right? Because
But the
he
concerns were
has trouble
shown.
making.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh, they
they were.
were.
I was just getting to that.
Absolutely.
This was the ultimate Anthony Richardson game. You saw the highs and the lows.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what you expect. Which I mean, I guess is good, right? You want to see the highs at least. Imagine you only see the lows. I mean, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, this was
But as
one of
for
the
the
games
Texans,
of the week.
it was. But concerning defense, I think for the Texans.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
think so.
a little bit. I'm not too worried about it. They did like, if you think about the way that the Texans defense played, generally speaking, I think we knew that they might not have been the most efficient at stopping the run.
Mhm.
I wasn't necessarily expecting a ton of pressure generated. Not because the Colts offensive line is the best anymore or anything, but they're still a formidable unit, and Richardson has the ability to do it, escape out of the pocket, even though he didn't do much of that. He wasn't as athletic as I expected him to be in this game, I guess. That was the
Yeah,
other
he
thing
looked a
too.
lot more Mahomey than Josh Allen, and we expected more Josh Allen.
That's very
Yeah,
Mahomey.
yeah. And
Um,
I guess like, but if you think back to other D'Amico Ryan's defenses, they sometimes just, like, it could be random, it could be something in certain aspects of his scheme, but they give up big plays occasionally too. So
I
I don't.
also thought it was weird that the Colts receivers that performed were Alec Pierce and then a guy I'd never heard of before. Like
Uh,
I don't
you
know
never
the
heard
name
of
of the wide
Ashland
receiver
Dulin?
5. Yeah,
Oh, I mean, he caught some balls last year.
but still, I mean, like they held down Pittman, they held down Josh Downs. They didn't let Adonai
Well, Downs was
Mitchell do
out.
anything. Oh, well, they held down Adonai Mitchell and they held down Michael Pittman.
Hmm. Yeah. Actually, Mitchell was open on a few times, and Richardson missed him. So it was another one of those cases of just a game of inches. You make those throws, and this game ends up a lot different. And we're talking about Richardson a lot differently too. At the end of the day, the Texans were lucky and escaped. I think it's annoying to attribute luck to things, but Stroud had two interceptions that he threw that were either called back or did not count. One of them, the defender who caught it, was out of bounds. The other one was called back for defensive holding. So this game could also look a lot worse in that regard too. Stroud didn't have the prettiest game in my opinion.
He didn't have a CJ Stroud game.
Which is good, right? He still made some good plays.
Yes.
His low is making a good game like that. I think it's good.
Yes. He did.
I think
Certainly did
so.
enough to win. One of the things that the greatest quarterbacks in the league do sometimes is leaning on their skill position players, and Nico Collins was absolutely fantastic in this game.
He's so good at finding open space, right? He's so good at
Yes.
finding the empty zone.
And excellent
And Stroud
hands.
obviously gives him that time. Yeah, I mean, really good synergy between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, this next game, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch a single snap of, but it also didn't go as I expected it to, because I thought the Raiders were gonna be able to run down the Chargers offense like it was nothing.
Yeah, I
But
thought so too.
they
It did not
didn't.
happen. The Chargers got a really good running game going. Dobbins had a good game.
Which is what
Jo-
you expected with Jim
Well,
Harbaugh on
okay.
that O-line.
Right.
As someone who
And
did watch a lot of this game, for all the listeners as well, the Chargers won 22-10. If you're not aware, and it's such a tough game to describe because the Chargers didn't really do anything spectacular, but the Raiders really shot themselves in the foot a lot in this game. The rushing offense wasn't actually that great for the Chargers. Statistically, it looks really good because Dobbins, in particular, managed to explode a few times to get some really nice big gains on just a couple of runs, and it makes it look. It inflates the stats a little bit when that happens.
yeah.
Herbert was pretty mediocre in this game as well. The thing that helps though was that he had a lot of time to throw and a lot of clean pockets. One of the matchups that we talked about last week actually was Joe Alt versus Max Crosby, and we had questions about whether Joe Alt could. Certainly, Barufi did. Whether Joe Alt could manage well against Crosby. I believe Joe Alt only allowed one pressure. Maybe he didn't allow any, so he had a fantastic game.
He was
Crosby was
fantastic.
fairly neutralized.
Slater as well did really good.
Yeah. So that's going to be a fantastic tackle duo for years,
For
which
years
is
to
good.
come.
Oh yeah.
Herbert needs
absolutely.
that. He's been injured
One
a
of the
couple
best.
times because of tough O-line play, I guess you could call
Which
it.
was also why I fully agree with the Joe All pick, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm a big trenches guy. I take a good O-line over a great wide receiver any day.
Okay, for
And
fan purposes, I'm a little upset that Malik Neighbors has fucking Daniel Jones because God, that guy is awful. But I get it as a GM. I also would have taken Joel, and I think Lad McConkey is going to be an amazing receiver for them. So it's not like they're missing out value.
no, I think they had a good draft. I think they'll be
Yeah.
fine.
The only option that I would have done differently, the only other outcome that I would have taken is if you draft Neighbors, you trade up it back into the first, and you go get
Waga maybe.
no, Fuago's
Like a
way too
Tyler
high. I'm
Guyton.
talking
Tyler Guyton was
Tyler
taken at the end
Guyton.
of the first.
Yeah, you jump the
Guyton,
Cowboys and
maybe?
take Tyler Guyton. That's the only outcome that I would have taken over what they did.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, sure, but yeah, I probably agree with that. But still, Joe All Dog. He has
Oh,
a really
yeah.
cool nickname already. Joe All Delete. Oh, that's cold as hell. That is cold as
Yeah.
hell.
So
Your delivery of it ruined it.
there was another decision. Go ahead, Murphy. Sorry.
No, I was just saying Joe All Delete's cold as hell.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say wrong?
Nothing. I'm just giving you shit.
All
Of
right.
course you are.
There was another decision that for the Raiders, a coaching decision that
Yeah.
TFG brought it up when he was recapping. And I also it just
I
fucking
watched
mind
that. I
blowing.
watched it. Yeah,
That decision. Uh,
I watched the same
it
video.
was fourth
Unbelievable.
down, 4th and 1 or 2 at the
Fourth and 1.
opponent's 40-yard line,
Mhm. You're down
and
one.
you're down. Yeah, you're down. Not a lot,
It wasn't one.
with only
Sorry, it
like
was down
6
6
minutes
points.
in
Sorry.
the game to go, and he punted the ball.
Unbelievable. Antonio
What the
Pierce, by the way,
fuck?
gotta
Yeah,
be going.
right.
The
What?
reason why you got the job is because you're a players guy. The players don't want to punt that.
Yeah, I.
I'm very
It
baffling,
was.
very baffling.
Yeah, baffled is a perfect word for it, and I think that
It's
whole
just a
game for the
not.
Raiders. Go ahead.
That decision just screams that you're playing to not get blown out versus playing to win.
Clearly, they're
I
not play to win.
I
Clearly, they're
really
not play to win.
I have no idea what like there's no thought process, in my opinion, that comes to that conclusion. It's so weird.
If you're up one, 6 minutes left, I probably agree with the decision. You know, you still have time to get the ball back. Trust your
No,
defense.
I still don't
Whatever.
agree with that decision. I would still go
But it's
for it.
more understandable.
Honestly, if it's
More
1 and
understandable.
you're past your own 35, I go for it every time.
But
They're very.
what we can agree with is what the Jags did was bullshit, right?
Well, that was just horrible play call.
Yeah.
There are
Okay.
plenty of play calls on 4th and 1 that work, you know.
No, not even the play call, but just the situation. Just I punt that every time. You're up 3, plenty
Yeah,
of time
at that
left.
spot, on your own 30. Yeah, for sure.
And by the way, they got bailed out, by the way, because Jason Sanders missed a field goal following that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
But yeah, so the Raiders, it was a lot of just like clearly the worst football team on the field. Like that's just what it comes down to,
100%,
mostly.
100%.
And it's a shame because they have really talented
Outcoached as
players.
well.
They have, yeah, they
do.
have a lot to like about their situation. They could be capable of scoring a lot of points, but like Jacob said, the run game was non-existent basically, which was a big surprise because the Chargers, generally speaking, historically speaking, have struggled against the run. Been one of the worst teams in the NFL over the past few seasons. They didn't make many moves to improve that, so I don't know what it was with the Raiders blocking or play calling on the run, but it was really bad. Zamir White didn't look good either when he was in.
I was about to say, this goes to show that I was right about White. He was way overdrafted.
Okay, it's also week 1. We don't want to overreact too much, but he didn't look good for sure. And yeah, they're just completely outclassed. It wasn't, but they could have still won this game. Like a 12-point difference doesn't really tell the story there.
No.
All right.
Not this fucking game.
This game pissed me off the most this week.
The most?
This is the game that made me the most angry. And it's purely because Levis only had to not turn the ball over and they win.
Yep.
You have one job, bro.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, and that pick 6 was horrid, man. Just
Also,
horrid.
Brian Callahan, why are you not just running the ball? Why are you not running a bunch of screens to Tajay Spears? Why are you not just playing the game the way the game needs to be played in that moment?
Yeah, 17-0. We got to be more accurate with the play calling, right?
But
It
it's
also
not just
pisses me off
that.
because I picked the Bears in my job, like my work pick'ems, and I picked the Titans in my work pick'ems, and all my coworkers picked the Bears. I was the only one that picked the Titans, and I wanted to have that, but no, couldn't.
Yeah, I picked the Titans as well, and they just blew it on my face. Unbelievable.
Caleb didn't look good. Nothing on the Bears looked good. Let's
No,
be honest.
absolutely nothing except defense and special teams, and
Offensively,
sucks
it
for
was
the
just
Titans.
bad. Yeah.
No, it's horrible,
Um,
horrible. Unbelievable they scored 24 like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what
It
happens.
was
You
an
fucking
embarrassing
scoop and
outing
score
for
on a
both
punt
teams.
and a pick 6, which was one of the most pathetic. Like, what are we doing?
That was so
Will?
bad.
Like,
That was an NFL quarterback doing that is pathetic.
and now
Did
it's
you
a big
guys see the
meme.
image of him on his knees? Yeah.
Yep.
Like he knew how bad that was. He knew how bad that was.
It reminds me of the Andy Dalton interception against the Cardinals where there's a
Yeah.
backflip or a front flip going on in the background.
Yeah.
A
That
lot
was
of
funny as
comparisons
well.
were made. Yeah. Yeah, just fucking brutal game. JC Latham didn't look very good either.
No, he did not. They
Uh,
He already had mobility issues, right?
Yes.
Coming out of the draft, very big, first position.
The
And
only
it
thing
showed
that
again.
made me feel confident about JC Latham was the fact that he was going to go to a Callahan off, and it didn't work. Week
Yeah,
one,
Certainly
anyways.
not for this game. I think he could struggle all year if he's paired up against speed rushers because he's just not fast enough for these guys, and they're just going to beat him a lot.
Maybe he's just been moved
Hassan
smart,
Reddick
man.
is. I don't even know if. Oh well, yeah. If the Jets actually had Hassan Reddick, he would be having nightmares for the rest of the week. Because Hassan Reddick would cook JC Latham.
We'll get to the Jets. We'll get to the Jets.
Yeah, not much to say about this one. I guess I could characterize it as rookie growing pains because Caleb had a few plays where it's like, okay, there we
Both
go.
sides, right?
This is good. Yes, from both sides, of course. But hit some real head scratchers, a lot of stuff that he might have been able to get away with in college.
Held on to the bell for way too long.
Yeah.
He is realizing how much faster defensive lines are in the NFL.
Right.
It's not easy
He's
to
playing the
play
game
like
like
home.
he's still in college.
Right. That was my point. So it's gonna take time to grow. That's why I picked the Titans as well. We all picked the Titans last week.
We all picked the Titans, yeah.
That's part of the reason why I did that, because it just, I don't know. And they should have won the fucking game. That's the most frustrating part about it. Like, how the fuck do you not win that game?
No.
Yeah. Anyway. Moving on. Next up, the Steelers pull off the win on the road against the Falcons without scoring a single touchdown in the game. What a brutal fucking performance by Kirk Cousins. Holy shit, a firework just went off.
Yeah, he looked terrible. It was not good. And I get week one growing pains coming back from an injury, but you gotta look better than that, dude.
I've got my awards for this game.
Falcons O-line also regressed a lot.
I am tired of the Steelers, bro. They can't keep getting away with this shit, bro.
Those are your words? That's not where I was going.
They can't keep getting away with this.
They can. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Is Atlanta stinky? Those are my 3 words.
They definitely looked stinky. I think they gotta wait a little bit. There's way too many new players, way too many new faces there. They need. I'll give them 4 weeks to get back to you on that.
Yeah,
you know what?
just
That's
a tough
fair.
first game. My 3 words are what a masterclass. Holy shit,
Watt,
dude.
masterclass?
Yes. Yeah, what a masterclass.
Yeah,
Holy fucking shit, dude.
So good.
I can't believe he only ended up with 1 sack on the stat sheet. Now, he did have 2 of them taken away from him on penalties and such.
TJ Watt sucks. Alontae Taylor tripled his sack numbers this week.
Yeah, he was just all over the fucking field. 2 crucial turnovers he forced. Just a complete fucking monster. Man, if he plays like this every week, this is not a contest for Defensive Player of the Year. Genuinely,
it's not, and it kind of makes me mad because I kind of fucking hate TJ Watt. I really don't like him.
Why?
I don't like his fans. I don't like Steelers fans.
TJ Watt pissed me off TJ Watt pissed me off so fucking much last year when he got all pissy about Myles Garrett winning the Defensive Player of the Year.
I kind of agree with you on that because Myles was also deserving of it.
Barufi,
that was
weren't you talking about Steelers fans last week or a few weeks ago? How you didn't hate them? Or was I talking to someone else?
That was me.
Oh, okay.
That was me.
Okay, all right.
Because I said they were based for shitting on the Browns for Deshaun
That's
Watson.
right. Yeah. Well, they suck. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate them. Oh man, just fucking.
Yeah. Cameron immediately pissed me off too with the AFC North is the Steelers division.
I've got another 3 words for this game. Dirty birds stink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Atlanta sucks, dude. They go into this year, everyone thinks they're going to win the division easily because they improved the most, and yet they still don't get it done. I get it. Hey, we got Kyle Pitts a touchdown. That's great. How is Drake London not getting involved against the Steelers, dude? You're doing this at home. How does Bijan look like he doesn't know what the fuck a hole is Bijan looked terrible in this game, and it's
Listen,
not the play calling's fault. It is 110%. Bijan has not learned to read a whole.
listen. I already told you guys about Bijan. I was always higher on Gibbs. I was always higher on
Yes,
Gibbs for a
Jameer
reason.
Gibbs. Let's go.
I was always higher on Gibbs. I was not as I never drafted Bijan in fantasy.
I didn't either because he was always going way too high, but he
I'm
looks
not sure.
fucking bad, dude.
I'm not sure if I'm taking my victory laps yet, but I will say this: I was never that high on him. As
I'm
people
going to
always
take
were.
my victory laps on the fact that Bijan should have never been a fucking 7th overall pick.
Okay, we probably okay. Maybe that's fair to say already. Maybe that is fair to say. Maybe that is fair to say.
He can go on to
But
be one of the best running backs in the league for the next 5 years. I don't give a fuck. He's not worth a 7th overall pick.
you see, that's where I disagree with you because if he does develop into that kind of player, I don't care where you got drafted.
I do. There's just not that much value in a running back. If you're not Christian McCaffrey level, there's just not that much value in it.
Do you think Saquon was
No.
worth the? Okay.
What did the Giants do with Saquon?
See, okay, you know that's foul, bro.
It's
You
not,
know
dude.
you
You
damn
used
well
a
know
second
that's
overall
foul.
pick on Saquon. You know what that second overall pick could have been?
Mm.
Here, let's go and look at the 2018 draft class real quick.
I will say this. Um, Saquon's a hell of a player. I mean, look what he's doing already with the Eagles. I think he was worth the second overall pick. He's just
Oh,
the
well,
fucking
it
guy.
could have been sorry, it could have been Bradley Chubb, could have been Denzel Ward, Quentin Nelson, Roquan Smith, Vita
Uh,
Vea, Deron Payne. All these players do more
do
for
you
their
think
team than Saquon does.
I mean, I
Well,
don't know.
Saquon scored 3 touchdowns on Friday. I don't know.
I don't know. I would take him over Bradley Chubb and Vita Vea, Denzel Ward. Yeah, I would.
hmm
Anyways, hell of a player.
Yep.
Yes.
Hell of
Holy
a
sidetrack.
player. Uh,
Holy sidetrack.
we don't have to stick to the really annoying, boring games that much, so we can move on to the Buffalo Bills coming back and securing the victory over the Cardinals. This is a case of Josh Allen football. Those are my 3 words.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the fumble early in the game, it was just him creating, really, and he was fantastic.
And that's how it's gonna have to be for the whole year. He absolutely can't do that, right? But that's just a fact. That's how it's gonna have to be all year.
Mm-hmm.
And as for the Cardinals, I already had my point made. Now you were speaking and I lost it.
Well,
So I'll get back to you on that.
yeah. Well, you
Oh,
find
Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison.
Okay.
Well, what the fuck happened with him? And then Kyler goes in a conference and is like, "Oh, it's not my job to give him the ball." What the fuck do
Yeah.
you mean? Not
Okay.
your job to
Well,
give him the ball?
it is a two-way street, though, because Marvin Harrison went viral for being open on a few crucial plays at the end of the game, and Kyler not giving
And he
him the
also
ball.
had drops.
Yes,
That
true.
was the other part of it. So Harrison also didn't have a good game.
No.
He struggled catching the ball. If you watch the tape as well, I don't know if you guys did after I left Roofy yesterday, but if you watch the tape of him, his routes were
watched,
not good. They were not
no,
NFL
no, they were
routes,
not.
you know?
I did watch tape on this game, but it was not on the. I was not focused on
Receiver.
Arizona receivers. Now I was just focused on Bills' defense and
Okay.
offense.
Okay.
Also focused on Arizona.
Yeah, so if you do ever revisit it, watch him and his routes because they were not NFL routes. And a few people were pointing this out too when you compared it to
Spencer
Michael
James
Wilson.
route?
Huh?
Spencer James route from All American. Well, you might not be familiar.
No, I don't get the
I'm not.
reference. I'm sorry.
All American is a show,
Mm-hmm.
and Spencer James is the main character. He's like this crazy wide receiver, from high school. But you see the actual games, and Spencer James is like generational athlete. His routes are goofy as hell. So that was just my reference.
Okay. Yeah, but when you compared it to Michael Wilson, who scored a touchdown in this game and was actually pretty impressive, you compare those routes and they're just not like night and day. Michael Wilson was the far superior route runner in this game between the two.
Right.
Yeah, Michael Wilson looked
It just
pretty
puts
good. Pretty damn good.
into perspective NFL players versus college players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Harrison was like this renowned generational wide receiver, and he still has to develop. Clearly.
And I think the other
Yeah.
thing that we're seeing as well, sorry to interrupt again, but uh, a lot of college players in their rookie season, even if they're drafted highly, could really benefit from some fucking preseason play. Holy shit, man. Do you think this stuff would be happening this much in week 1 if they actually got some preseason snaps? You know what I mean?
Also,
Oh,
to
same
go
thing with
back
the
on that,
injuries.
I watched John Gruden previewing Dolphins Bills today, and he said this. I'm not sure what he was talking about. The Bills corners, the wide receivers. I'm not sure which group he was talking about, but he said the phrase of players needing time and some players not playing from the preseason, so they need to adjust in the first few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the first few weeks of the regular season, they fucking matter. You're not there to adjust.
Right.
Like preseason is heavily slept on. I don't
Yes.
understand it.
Absolutely.
Coaches are super scared of injuries. Listen, you're gonna have to play 17 games, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're probably gonna get hurt in those 17 games, and
And
maybe not. Maybe
the
like
the
fuck.
thing with the injuries too is, as far as my observations are concerned, when players played more preseason, it got them in NFL shape,
More
NFL
ready,
ready
right?
for first
Absolutely.
team reps, so they weren't getting injured on fucking week 1
It's
and
good.
going
It's
out for the
good
whole season.
physically. It's
Yes.
good physically. It's good strategic. Tactically. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what the angle is for, and that's across the league too.
Yeah.
That's
Every
the
team,
concerning
pretty
part.
much.
Yeah, there's.
If you
I don't know.
if you play one quarter or one series in 3 preseason games, do you really think you're going to be in NFL shape for week 1 when you're playing a full game of NFL action at 100%?
Exactly.
No. And now we have players are going down for the whole season because they don't get any they don't
Yep.
get back up to speed.
Yep.
They're not given the time to do it. Yeah, 100%.
Like I couldn't agree more. The preseason contest.
Jacob, do you have any extra thoughts on this one?
No, not really. I mean, I felt like it was a pretty good game as far as like entertainment goes, but I think that Marvin Harrison is also just kind of being a crybaby.
The what I will say about this game is the huge positive for the Bills obviously is Josh Allen and just the involvement of multiple receivers. I think 10 guys got targets, which is unbelievable. The next team was 5 guys getting targets.
Mm-hmm.
So really spreading the ball. Um McDermott, obviously he has that familiar system in place, but James Conner had a decent game, I thought. Um,
Yeah, he looked good.
some, yeah, I mean, pass rush was good for the Bills. Kyler was pressured, but I'm not sure about the run
Rousseau was
defense.
fantastic. Yeah.
Rousseau was fantastic, yeah, but I'm not sure about the run defense, and because of the lack of personnel, I feel like McDermott's making some adjustments and playing softer in the secondary. I saw a lot of soft zone.
Mm.
Um, not really pressing, and it's something the Bills used to do a little bit more of. A lot of soft zone.
I think they're
So
missing. I think this is a simplified playbook because they're missing Matt
yeah,
Milano
exactly what
for
I'm saying. I
sure.
just lack of personnel hurting them across the secondary. But pass rush is a positive. Josh Allen is a positive. We'll
Yeah.
see if they can get the running game going a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
across the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
Overall, yeah, it was a fun game.
All right. Next up, Seahawks winning against the Broncos, 26-20. Seahawks probably didn't have any business winning this game if it was any other opponent. Realistically, they looked pretty awful
Yes.
on offense in the first half. They were also pinned inside their own 10 on almost every drive. It felt like, but
Yeah.
they got the run game going. They started cooking in the second half. The defense the secondary in particular looked really good. Probably something that we expected. Maybe not immediately like this, but we did expect from this season with Mike McDonald as the new Seattle Seahawks coach. Generally speaking, I don't have much to say about this game. I think Seattle's the better
Boring
team, and the
as
better
fuck.
team won.
Those are my 3 words.
Yeah, it was a
Perfect.
boring game. It was a
Yeah.
boring game. But I do have the same way we were shitting on Pierce for that 4th and 1 play call. I'll question who offensively. Who's the Seattle play caller? Do you guys know that
Um,
information?
isn't it Grub? I think
Um,
it's. Oh shit! God damn it!
Wait,
Um,
wait. Are you
Seattle.
asking who's the play caller for
yeah, Ryan
Seattle? It's the
Grubb. Yeah,
Washington guy.
Ryan Grubb.
Okay, so Seattle had already taken a safety earlier in the game. They're pinned inside the red zone, and he runs a fucking inside zone, handing the ball up to his running back, 3 yards behind the end zone. I mean, what are we doing, bro?
Hmm.
Obviously, another safety. It's just super questionable call that gave the Broncos a chance to do something. Obviously, Bo Nix, Broncos couldn't really take advantage of it, right? But something that, just a little comment, something that I observed because, it was a questionable call. But like you guys said already, it was a boring game.
Yeah. I
Not
would
much
say
else to say.
questionable offensive play calling on both sides. Seattle's
Yeah.
improved in the second half, and they finally got the run game going. But with Denver, it was like you're going against like a fantastic secondary. You have a rookie
Yeah.
quarterback who is
Yeah.
not throwing to the best receiver group. Why aren't you running the ball?
Yeah, use Javonte more.
I don't. I just don't
also
get
that.
it. It's
1%.
just
You
one
have
of those
3
things.
really good running backs, and you're using 0 of them.
Yep,
Exactly.
makes no sense.
So something to keep an eye on with the Broncos. I would have fired Sean Pitt. I know they spent a first round pick, but I would have fired him after last season. That was pathetic. We'll see what happens. Up next, the Dallas Cowboys trouncing the Cleveland Browns 33-17. The score does not.
Yes,
The
dude.
score is not indicative of it being even that
Not at
close,
all.
even though
This was
Dallas
worse.
doubled their
This was
score.
way worse. This was way worse.
Yeah, I think the
Um,
Deshaun Watson or brain dead Deshaun, we'll go with that, because some of the worst QB play I've really ever seen, at least in the last few
lack of
years.
confidence.
And really bad play calling too.
Yeah, as I told you, after we went over that, I came to the conclusion that yes, Deshaun had a horrible game, but play calling was also one of the worst I've seen.
Mhm.
Play design, especially play design was worse
Yes,
than play calling, and
yes,
it's rare to say that play design is worse than play calling. It was the case in this game.
yep,
Like I'm talking multiple times. They put 3 receivers on one side, and Deshaun's first read is the guy out on an island. Not even on an island. There's safety over the top, and that's their first read.
hmm
Like,
yeah.
and, super
Not using the
confusing.
trio
Super
concept at
confusing.
all. Like,
Deshaun had no adjustments pre-snap, no hot routes. A lot of times we discussed 11 personnel, 3 guys on one side. There's a mismatch with how the DBs are positioned. Just nothing by Deshaun.
yeah,
Like he does not look alive. There's a lack of conviction, a lack of confidence in his play. Maybe I'm not sure. There's 2 options here for me. Either he doesn't read the defense properly, or he's not convicted of what he's seeing. And he just doesn't say it. He's not vocal about it. So
yeah. I think that's the latter. I think it's the latter. He's not. Um, he's just like content running the play that they're running and not trying to
yeah,
check out of it or anything like that,
no, he
or
doesn't.
even go through his progressions. I mean,
No,
how
he
many
doesn't.
plays did we watch where even
Stares
if
down his first read.
yeah, it's just the first read. Like that's
Yeah,
it. You know.
yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of times he
frustrating.
does that, and then you see Judy just fucking wide open down the field.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And super confusing, super confusing. He made a few good plays. We said a few. The touchdown pass to who was the touchdown pass to?
To Judy.
Uh, it was Judy.
But
Yeah, it was a
again,
good throw.
first
Yeah.
reads on the good plays
First
too.
reads,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
nothing.
absolutely.
There was no progression
No
in his
progression,
reads.
no. Yeah, absolutely. No extensions of plays, right? Just it was awkward play, very awkward, very bad play design, and also for the Browns defense. I mean, is it really that good? I mean, they just didn't show
I
life,
think.
right?
I mean, they were on the field a lot. I think that's one thing. I think also the Cowboys' offense is a really tough matchup. Uh, Dak is really. He really is a unique quarterback because he does have. When it almost feels like when he wants to have it, he has fantastic ball placement in a way, because sometimes he just doesn't fit the ball in the spots. But in this game, he did. a lot of the time. So it adds to the explosiveness of the offense. At the end of the day, I think we all picked Dallas. I was
Yeah.
pretty confident in that pick, and it really showed on the field. Up
I
next,
couldn't agree more.
yep.
Yeah, best possible outcome as well. Fuck Deshaun Watson.
All right. Now we're a little out of order again, just because we're going down the list here. But Monday Night Football, 49ers pretty much dominated the Jets here in prime time.
Best team in football.
Yeah, probably the best performance in the NFL this week. Not saying too much, I guess. There was a lot of sloppy play. There were a few teams that looked fantastic, though. 49ers being one of them on both sides of the wall. Without CMC as well. Jordan Mason's a dog. I've been saying this.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Jets necessarily need to be concerned. I think they need to get Hassan Reddick on the field however way they can, because that pass rush was not effective on Monday.
Good leverage to him, right?
Yeah, really good leverage for him for sure. So, I mean, I could talk about this a lot, but I don't think we need to. If you guys have any thoughts, you can go ahead.
Well, I'm on hate watch. Okay, I'm on Jets hate watch because I mean, I'll try to be as unbiased as I can, but I will say a few things. You guys might agree with me. Is the 8 solidified top 5 defense in football cannot allow 8 scoring drives in a row. I don't give a shit if it's week 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same. It's the same scheme, same
I'm
coach.
not sold on Saleh. I think that he should have been fired last offseason.
He had the excuse of Rodgers, and so did Hackett, and they're stuck with that. And on the defensive side of the ball, there was the pros of Rodgers making good plays. We saw a little bit of Garrett Wilson, which, by the way, Garrett Wilson, you got to make that fucking catch, bro. That is a routine catch.
He was kind of getting clamped. I know I said wasn't gonna say much. The Niners though ran a lot more zone a lot more man in this game, and the way that they drafted and the way that they were preparing it in training camp and stuff kind of spoke to that idea that they were gonna run more man-to-man coverage. And man, Diamador Lenore, every single season he's been in the NFL has looked better and better and better. He was a fucking stud.
He was
on Monday night. He was very sticky. He was glued to Garrett Wilson. He got very little separation in man coverage.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was generally a little underwhelming. The whole offense though, Nathaniel Hackett is just so fucking bad.
The cons, because the only pros to me is Rodgers, really. Garrett Wilson for one drive, I guess. But for the cons, Brees Hall. I mean, you got to show more than that. The O-line, pass pro, even play design, play call. I mean, it was really just Rodgers. I'm not convicted with that offense. The defense has again to step up, and also again on the defense. A lot of this happened last year where they keep them in the game because the Jets were in this game for a while, and just the offense doesn't do them any favors, and it blows back in their face.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of happened in this game, but also the Niners had no issues, and obviously that speaks to the Niners. And I had them number 1 ranked in my power rankings before the season. So obviously I'm high on them for obvious reasons. I think anyone should be, but the Jets. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
You got to come out a little bit more prepared.
I just don't think they're going to do much because of their poor coaching.
That
But
looks like
I
it
also
could be a
think they
big
were-
setback. It does.
I also think they were way overrated in the offseason. Everyone that I saw putting out standings and predictions was putting them above the Bills, and I just I never saw a justification
Bills and
for
Dolphins.
that.
I was one of them. I believe I gave them 11 or 12 wins. I think that's obviously still possible. I picked the Niners to win this game, so that was one of their losses. They obviously did not look nearly as good as I maybe expected them to in this game. Certainly not as prepared, which is what you guys said as well. But I'm not going to push any red alarm buttons yet. I think the defense will get better. I think it's just such a bad matchup. I mean, we all, like everybody watching this game, knew or should have known that the Niners were going to be scoring, not on 8 straight drives or anything like that, but they were going to be scoring. This is a really good offense filled with huge, great playmakers. That's just what happens. So I'm not gonna panic at all. I think
I'll say this though.
Rodgers was certainly capable of throwing the ball. I do think he wanted to maybe escape out of the pocket, even though he physically can't anymore. I think that was kind of evident on the when
It
watching
was.
too.
It was. And that's why I also touched on Pass Pro, right?
Mhm.
Because he was hurried a few times. Now that I gave my unbiased views, right? Because I think I was pretty much unbiased, right? I will be on some crazy hate watch next week against the Titans. Oh my god, if the Titans win, I'm gonna be saying some crazy stuff, guys.
See, I want to pick the Titans because I want them to win. That game, regardless, is going to piss me off because it's going to be an ugly performance. The Jets are going to squeak it out, and the team I want is going to lose. And the team that I am already frustrated with is going to squeak by in an ugly win, and they're going to be undeserved, but they're going to get a win.
Listen, we'll see, right? There's a lot of football left, so that division is still up for grabs. We'll see.
Mhm. Yeah, we shall. Now we got 6 games left. If we can maybe rapid fire a little bit through these
5.
ones.
5 games left.
Of course, Jacob, you'll have time to talk about your Saints. Don't you worry. But
All good.
Friday Night Football in Brazil.
Yes,
Eagles
sir.
win 34-29. The score line is really weird for this one because I don't think it describes how the game went really, which is interesting. Really, really sloppy quarterback play on both sides, in my opinion. Jordan,
Yeah.
it's really unfortunate that Jordan Love got injured at the very end of this game, but I will
It was
say
basically over.
I'm not going to be holding back here because he looked really bad, in my opinion. It was brutal, especially his footwork in the pocket and all of that kind of stuff.
Mechanically, right? It was
Yes, all of his mechanics to me looked
very
really
weird.
bad in this game. So, yeah, I'll let you guys take over.
I mean,
Yeah,
Saquon monster,
as a
right?
Jordan Love truther, he visibly regressed. I'm already withdrawing my MVP prediction of Jordan Love, mostly
Oh,
because
wow.
he's going to be missing games. Like when you miss games, it's pretty much
Are
impossible to
you
win
moving it?
MVP.
Are you moving it to Tua?
No, I'm moving it to Josh Allen, who I had as my runner-up.
You're an asshole. You're supposed to fight the enemy.
You were supposed to
Sorry,
destroy
should
the
I
Sith,
change
not
this?
join them.
Not join them. Bring balance to the force, not leave it in darkness.
You should switch it to Sam Darnold. That's what you should really do.
You know
Yes,
what?
yes.
Fuck it. The MVP of the league is going to be Derek Carr.
And there,
All
I prefer
right.
that over Josh Allen. Fuck.
And the way that he
He already
played,
gave he already gave an MVP level performance. He just needs to keep doing that 17 weeks in a row.
Well, it's not gonna happen next week or tomorrow. Fucking tomorrow, I'll be there. Fuck yes.
Derek Carr doesn't play tomorrow, but yes.
God. Talking about
We were
Josh Allen.
We were talking about Derek Carr.
I apologize. Yes, Derek Carr's the
All
MVP.
right.
I apologize.
Real
Derek
quick
Carr's the
though, lasting thoughts on Packers Eagles. You guys have any? Or do we kind of?
MVP.
Josh Jacobs needs to play more like second half Josh Jacobs, and then I'll be happy.
Fair base.
Well, you guys already said all I think about the game. Last thing I'll say is I'm super happy to see a game being played in Brazil.
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna
never in
bring
my
up
life.
that I initially responded poorly to it, but after more research and educating myself, Brazil was a great venue. Fans were absolutely amazing. Love to see it.
Third highest market in the world for football, above England and Germany, just behind Mexico and the
Well, that's
U.S.
because Europe sucks.
Oh, yeah, that too. But never in my life what I think I would see this, especially in my favorite soccer team's stadium. Right, I already told you guys that the Corinthians. So phenomenal experience to see it, and the fans received it well, I thought, and they got to see a great game because Germany in a few weeks they're gonna get fucking Giants Panthers. So thank you NFL for giving us a decent game in Brazil.
Yeah, no kidding.
Speaking of the Panthers, Jacob.
Yeah,
Panthers
they're
stink.
bad, dude. The Panthers are so bad, and I'm sorry to your team right now, but they fucking suck. The Titan, no, sorry, not the Titans. The Saints looked good. They absolutely obliterated a division rival on week 1, made it look easy, and they did that without even using their best weapon on offense. I'm thrilled with what the Saints have done. I'm a wholehearted believer. I have switched my entire opinion all the 87% of you who were not believers in the Saints, myself included, fuck you, because you should always have faith in Who Dat Nation. Dennis Allen is the greatest head coach in NFL history. Mickey
Now he's going
Loomis,
crazy. He's going crazy
Mickey,
now.
Mickey Loomis still should be fired. I'm tired of seeing negative 80 million when we enter the offseason. That's really frustrating. But everything went well. The Saints were the best team in football in week 1. Granted, they were the best team against the worst team. So I digress. Saints, baby.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for you. This is my take on this game.
Yeah, this is my peak of the year.
Also, I apologize for picking the Panthers. That was shameless of me.
No, dude, I had the Panthers until Wednesday last week.
Yeah, you did. Never mind. I'm not sorry.
Dog, I said number 1 pick was in contention for the Saints.
Yes.
I was praying that Quinn Ewers would be falling to us at one point.
Listen, I'm happy for you.
Thank you. I don't have to watch a Texas quarterback be playing for my NFL team.
Pause, real quick, guys.
No, you don't get to put a but after that. I'm happy for you.
I just saw on Twitter. Did you guys see the Shannon Sharp incident earlier today?
No, I heard about it though.
Okay. On his podcast, Shannon Sharp confirms that he was not hacked. Take it how you want it.
Oh.
No, the other tweet. Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson talking about Shannon's moans in the IG live.
Hell yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. How do you do that? Okay? How do you do that? I don't get it. How? Like,
greatest silent of all time, bro.
but genuinely, how do you do that? How does that happen?
You know how hard? Do you know how hard it is to go on IG live, bro?
Oh my
How many
god.
buttons?
Yes.
How many buttons you have to click?
Exactly.
How
How?
many buttons you have to click?
Fuck,
Oh
bro.
my
How
God.
does that happen?
It's unbelievable. Anyway.
Unbelievable work. Crazy work.
Yeah, thank you. You got me animated for the first time tonight. Oh my god. So fucking bad. Oh, anyway. Yeah. Bryce
Also,
Young-
last thing on the Saints, real quick.
Yep.
The tight end situation is a lot better than I expected it to be. Foster Moreau and Joel both looked solid.
And the O line, right? We have the greatest two
Yeah.
O lines in football. Let's
Taliesa
go.
Fuaga, he's a dog. Cesar Ruiz, I should never have bitched about us drafting you over.
You clown. You did not like the Fuaga pick.
No, I didn't.
No, you did not. Indeed, you did not.
No, I didn't clown that pick.
No. If he likes Fuaga, but he initially would have rather had like a Byron Murphy or something, right?
Oh,
Wasn't
was
that?
that what it was? Okay, but
I said
I
Byron
told
Murphy would have been my pick, but if you're gonna take an offensive lineman, I wanted it to be Fuaga.
Okay, well, I was probably higher on the pick than you were, maybe, but okay.
I was high on the pick regardless because he's going to play tackle for us this year and then move into guard whenever we get Ryan Ramczyk back. I think that's a perfect situation.
Okay.
Either that or you just say fuck you to Trevor Penning because he sucks donkey balls.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, just like Bryce Young, by the way. I know you're about to talk about him, bro. Or Anthony.
He looked absolutely terrible. He has no like NFL ability, it seems, to navigate the pocket, to anticipate pressure as well. It just looks all bad. It feels like I mean, look, I wasn't the biggest Bryce Young guy coming out of the NFL. None of us were, right? Well, Murphy,
you were the
little
biggest
higher.
out of the three of us.
Was I?
Oh, really?
I had him third.
You had him
I had him
13th
third.
on your...
I had him QB3,
I was the highest
15th
pick.
overall prospect.
No,
So
no,
I
was the highest.
liked him.
Yeah, I had him as a fringe first round pick, like 30th, 40th guy.
But anyway, my point is like this should be like at some point should be a capable starter in the NFL to a very good player. He seems to have unlearned everything from call. Like this is not the same player, genuinely. He looks bad. And so with the way that the Panthers look everywhere else, it looks like they might be picking a
Derek
quarterback
Brown
again
is done.
this
Derek
draft.
Brown is done for the season.
Their best player, yeah. See you later.
That's
Yeah.
it, man. I don't wish this on my worst enemy.
Dude, it was literally a 3-and-out on like I think 8 drives.
Sounds right.
And they had 3 turnovers. Like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
It just looked bad. The one time they got a first down that I'm seeing, they fumbled it on the first down play.
Nice. That's
It
huge.
was kind of hilarious
Listen,
because it
but I'll
wasn't.
say this. Last thing I'll say about this game. I'm happy that Panthers fans are making the most out of it. They're making some funny fucking memes out of this.
Well, I think
Okay, they
it's a
are,
general state
but
of apathy at this point.
I'm also happy about this because it makes me feel so much happier knowing how big of a flop it was that Brett Coleman picked them to be the division winner last year.
I still can't believe he did that.
That's unbelievable.
That is one of
I
the
guess
most
so.
brain dead dog shit takes at like ever, genuinely.
And
Yeah.
that guy has millions of subs.
Wild stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out Brett Coleman again.
Oh God! Shout out Brett Coleman.
Again.
He's going to be a weekly guest without even knowing it. It's wild.
Yeah.
Wait, wait, guys. Do you guys still play PewDiePie's Tuber Simulator? Probably
No.
not. I assume. Did you guys know they added a meme maker to it?
No.
Okay, they added a meme maker to it. I'm scrolling through some of the first one I see is a 9/11 meme. It's a plane pulling up to 2 like under construction buildings, and he was like, is it ready yet?" And he's like, "We're still working on it." He said, "God damn it."
Oh my goodness. Jesus.
This is glorious. I'm saving the image and sending it to you guys.
Great. I'm not putting it on screen. All right. Moving on. Vikings, Giants. Maybe. Oh shit! Fuck. Get the fuck away with my notification. I guess maybe not the same scoreline as everyone thought, but kind of about the same thing that people expected out of this game. Daniel Jones looks like shit. The Giants offense looks bad. I can't believe you did that. That's unbelievable. Shame on you. Absolute shame. Revoke your NFL talking card.
Ah, my God. I you couldn't be more right. That's the thing.
I can't believe I picked the Giants.
You both did? Wait, what? Are you serious?
I picked the Giants as one of my higher confidence picks.
Oh my God.
I remember that. Yes. I remember that.
How do you guys do
I
this?
think they were I think they were my 6th most confident pick this last week. And it was purely because I am a Sam Darnold hater and I'm a Malik Neighbors glazer.
Okay.
How did that work out?
I don't, for some reason, I don't remember you guys picking the Giants, and I honestly am like shocked right now because this was one of the more confident picks I had last week, was picking the Vikings. I mean, this Giants team sucks, dude.
I cannot believe that I put Kayvon Thibodeau as my runner-up DPOTY.
Yeah. When you said that, I gave you shit for it, and for good reason.
Snow Angel guy?
He might be the Daniel Jones of edge rushers.
Oh,
no, he was deserving of his draft pick at least. Daniel Jones was a projected 4th-round pick.
I agree with the pick. Sure. And I thought it was a good pick. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't low on Thibodeau. So mistake by me for being high on him, but he's the as it stands, not disregard draft pick. He's the Daniel Jones of edge rushers. He just is.
Yeah, he's not good.
Nope.
Come to think about it, Oregon just sucks. Oregon is stinky, guys. They almost lost to fucking Idaho.
Are you saying Oregon sucks in general, or
you're
this
the hoe?
Yeah, you're the hoe.
You're the hoe.
Dude,
what is the capital of Idaho, guys?
Boise.
Potato.
Boise. There you go.
Oh, I thought it was potato.
It was Boise.
Retard.
Damn it. Fuck.
Anyway, nothing much to say again, in my opinion.
Fuck the Giants. I'm not wasting more than any more seconds on the Giants.
Well, just you wait and see who they play in week 2. Speaking of,
who do they play in week 2?
The Commanders losing to the Bucks in Raymond James Stadium, 37-20.
I have no idea how people were picking Washington in this game.
Because I picked it in a squeaker trap game type of feel.
God, they played
in
the
my
Commanders.
opinion.
You picked Washington?
I did, and it was
I
because I
Oh,
was expecting a little bit of a trap game here, where they could come out and just shock people in week one. That was my flyer this week. It did not pan out. As a matter of fact, everything that I was kind of hoping would happen as far as a trap game is concerned, the opposite did. So
Me as
Washington
well.
secondary
Baker's
looks
him.
Washington secondary looks absolutely horrendous. That's not to take away from Baker's game because he was fantastic. The run game also was very good honestly for both sides. I thought Washington was able to break off some pretty decent runs. Jaden Daniels looked okay on the run. He needs to learn how to slide. He also
He also
again,
needs to learn
But
how to
that's
throw.
been the pro.
well,
Okay.
what I was gonna say is he's doing this very exact same thing he did at LSU, which is why
Yeah, he just takes it.
I didn't like him that much. Remember,
Yeah, I
no,
agree with you. Yeah.
it's if the first guy's not open, or just take
He
off.
takes off. Yeah, he takes
You're
off.
bailing on him
Did we
plays
all
way
have
too early.
McCarthy as our QB3?
I had him as QB3.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah, we
had
all
Daniels
did.
as QB4 then. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that
Yeah, I
sounds
had
right.
him QB3 because I had May 1, Caleb 2, and Daniels 3. That's what I had.
Oh,
Oh, I had McCarthy 3.
yep, same here. Shame we're not going to see
No,
him this season, but
I
It
had
really is.
McCarthy 4. Yeah, it is a shame.
But yeah, no, Daniels did the exact same thing he did. Honestly, all the rookie quarterbacks did the same thing they did in college.
it
There
felt
was-
like all the rookie players, like all the big rookie players that we were like
Except for
players to
Neighbors.
watch.
Neighbors is the only one I saw that fulfilled his off.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
expectation.
Yeah, it's just that he wasn't productive
He,
through no fault of his own.
He had like 80 yards.
Yeah, but
Bowers was good.
yeah, Bowers was pretty good too. That's fair.
Marvin
so
Harrison.
there were a few guys who did fairly well in their first game, but man, a lot of players.
Shit.
Warvey, Xavier Warvey, Keon Coleman.
All the running backs will licking nut sacks.
What? Blake Corum had a phenomenal game.
Did he touch the ball?
No, he
No.
didn't.
This is why Bryce just cut him, guys.
Oh my-
Bryce was actually
Don't
valid.
remind
No,
me.
that is no.
Oh my
No.
God.
If you are dropping Blake Corum, you don't know why you drafted Blake Corum. Okay, there's
Well,
a reason why you drafted Blake
doesn't.
Corum, and it was
He
I hate
definitely
to.
doesn't know why. He didn't draft him. It was an auto pick.
I hate to blatantly insult the guy, but that's exactly what it's just clueless fantasy. Like that's all it is. He just kind of just does whatever he wants, except trade with me.
he's a character. I don't even know the guy, but he's a character. Unbelievable.
Dude, it's funny because he'll send screenshots of every trade he takes to Anthony and be like, "Should I take it?" And he'll do the exact opposite of what Anthony says.
Yep.
But he won't trade with Anthony. He gets all his dollars from Anthony, which is why he won't trade with Anthony because he thinks that Anthony is just release him every time.
when I mean genuinely, have I ever sent a trade initially where it was like so fucking easily my win? Like ever?
You're the least disrespectful trade person I've ever been with.
Are you calling me disrespectful?
No, you know the trade where I sent a second for Rodgers and I got like I gave up way too much, not way too much, but I gave up value, a lot of value to get Rodgers.
Mhm.
He countered me with adding Trey Benson to that.
Oh my god, that's just egregious.
I was like, no, I just declined. I didn't even counter it at that point. He was like, no, I'm sorry, I was being greedy.
Yeah, you're not being respectful. It's not just about being greedy. Like everyone wants to win a
you're
trade,
pissing me off.
but yeah, that's just disrespectful. Yeah.
I send you a fair offer because I'm gonna overpay for a guy that I need, and then you're gonna turn around and be like, actually, throw in this rookie who has a shit ton of talent that might be really good in the future because the guy in front of him probably won't be good next year.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck off, dude.
All right.
Just kidding.
Final
Love
game.
you, Mallard.
Final game of week one.
Guys. Hold on. I quote Shannon Sharp.
Oh no. All right.
His balls was hot.
His justification, all right? It was me being a healthy, active male.
Oh my god.
Bro's getting his cardio in.
Oh my god.
Last game of the week: Rams Lions.
Yes. Man, I mean,
I really wish the Rams did it.
what it is
Oh.
at the end of the day, the Lions took care of business when they needed to do it. Goff did not look good. I'll say that. And the Rams defense, credit to them, they made plays. They were clutch. This is supposed to be one of the worst units in football, in my opinion, and they played pretty damn good.
I did tell
Um,
you guys they'll be fine without Aaron Donald.
well, we'll see what the rest of the
Jacob.
season holds, but
No, I know. I know.
as far as this week's concerned, I do stand corrected, because
Agreed.
they clamped the shit out of Amon Ra and Sam
Jamo
Laporta.
went off though.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess that's going to be a potential thing that happens throughout the season. Is one of the guys is going to be targeted the whole game, basically. But we'll see what happens. Was not a big fan of Stafford in the first half. I know a lot of people really loved it. I didn't like his decision making. His ball placement
threw
was
the
obviously.
best. He threw the best pass of the season now.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, but okay, but that's the thing, right? I will say, was not a fan of Stafford in the first half. I don't really understand the people saying that he was fantastic in the first half, but in the second half, he took everything that he did that was great from the first half and took out all the bad stuff. He was fantastic in the second half, so I'll give him that
That's a
credit.
really weird way of getting around to that. He's like, he took all the good stuff, but then he got rid of the bad
Removed them.
stuff. Instead of just saying he took all the bad stuff and threw it out the window.
I rehearsed in my head to make it the most convoluted way to get to that point.
Okay, I'm glad you did that. That makes things so much better.
Yeah, but that's what happened, and he had a fantastic second half. Again, we have the dialogue about the overtime rules. And again, same sentiment we all have. It's fucking lame that both offenses don't get a chance.
Yeah. Regular season or postseason doesn't
My
fucking matter.
take on it is different. I don't understand why the criterion in regular season is one and the playoffs is another. I don't mind the old format because you also got to play defense, and that's my take on it. But if you're gonna give the offense a
It's
chance
okay
in
to
the
be
playoffs,
wrong.
Yeah.
if you're gonna give the offense a chance in the playoffs, you got to give the offense a chance in the regular season. I don't like splitting the format like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay to be wrong. Which is why
Yeah.
when we go into our pick'ems and the first pick of the week, I'm gonna be picking the Bills. Because it's okay to be wrong.
It is indeed okay to be wrong.
Yeah. So I guess
Also, I'd rather
here's
be
what-
wrong and pick the Bills than pick the Dolphins.
here's what I'd like to do for the pick'ems, and maybe we can, if we like this format, we can do it for the rest of the season. Just so we don't spend too much time on the matchups and stuff. If you guys have a score prediction, you can mention that, or otherwise just do your pick, and then give me one or two players to watch in each game. I think that'd be fun. And maybe it's not like, for this game, you could say Josh Allen if you want, but maybe it's a more under the radar guy who could be a big difference.
Yeah, I do think it's more interesting. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thursday night football. Miami Dolphins are playing host to the Buffalo Bills. Barufi, you're going to be at this game?
I'll be at every single home game.
Nice. Absolutely huge.
I am not selling a single ticket out of my season tickets.
Awesome.
Absolutely not.
Well, that should be a really fun one. A really good, tight game. I think Josh Allen's a huge, obviously, difference maker in this one. My score prediction is 27-30. Miami getting the victory there. I think the player to watch from Miami is going to be Tua Tagovailoa.
Craycraft.
I
Unfortunately.
just in one sentence, I'm interested to see how Tua will expand off of the second half of week one and last season against a depleted secondary and missing Matt Milano again for the Bills. That's a tough loss. So
Yeah. I have 24-23 for Miami, a little bit lower scoring.
Okay.
But it could very well be a little bit higher scoring. The reason why I went lower scoring is because these teams know each other very well. I don't think McDermott is gonna play that soft zone that I mentioned from earlier. I do think he's gonna press a little bit more. Two single high, or not two single high, but two safeties high. As for players to watch, I'll name one on each team. I think Rousseau on Buffalo, because I do think Buffalo is gonna want to pressure Tua. The problem with that is, and I'll say Tua again. I'll be there with you on that one. Tua's gonna have to throw fast. Buffalo's gonna bring pressure. He's gonna have to play accurate. He's gonna have to play, very safe. Don't think Miami has to do a whole lot to score on those games. There's mismatches in the boundaries. We'll see if A-Chain plays. That's another thing to watch for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it should be a really good game and a really fun game to attend to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna pick the Bills. I think the home crowd or the home advantage of the sun thing won't play a factor because it's gonna be a night game.
It's
Be
gonna be hot
sunset.
and it's gonna be humid, but yes, no sun.
It'll be sunset before too long. So at that point, the sun doesn't have an impact on it, and so the home doesn't really change anything.
Mm.
Um,
I'll be there
but
screaming though.
yeah, that'll change a lot.
Yes, it will.
But regardless, I got Bills winning this game in a close one. This is my seventh. So real quick, my picks. I'm gonna say I don't really have a score prediction, but I do have a
Sure.
confidence prediction, and that'll be 1 through 16. This is my seventh most confident pick, so I just points in confidence.
Okay.
I think it's kind of high. Best
Yeah,
game of the week.
I agree. But
This
it's
is
all
a
right.
hard week to pick, but
I disagree.
I disagree. Yeah, I agree with Anthony. I think it's
okay. I'll mention if it's a game that is harder for me to pick than this one.
I mean,
But
it's fair. It's your picks. It's your picks.
regardless, I think the players to watch are going to be Dalton Kincaid and Jalen Wright
Cool.
on
If he
offense.
plays. If
Anyways,
he plays, right? Yeah.
Yeah, those are solid picks. All right. Next
One
up.
comment: I hate the fucking Bills. All right, move on.
All right. Next up on our docket here, again, some of these are out of order. We're just going top to bottom on playoffpredictors.com. Jets are playing at Tennessee at Nissan Stadium. I do have the Jets winning 24-14. Players to watch, I think Aaron Rodgers should have a really good game in this one. We'll see what happens. And then for the Titans, I'd love to see Tavondre Sweat continue to expand off of. He had a monster game. Actually, he was another one of those rookies that really did shine in week 1. So I'd like to see him do that again.
yeah, he's making a case already for defensive rookie of the year. If he can keep playing like that, he's insane. This is my second least confident pick because I am picking the upset.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the Titans mostly because I want them to win and they are at home. I think their run game can really get accelerated in this if they can prioritize it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the coaching has to make that effort to go and give the running backs the game here because yes, they do have a good receiver, but their strength is their running back duo, and I think they need to lean on them more.
I really hope you're right. I really, really hope you're right, honestly. But I do have the Jets winning 23-17. Players to watch. I think Brees Hall. It would be nice to see him going, making smarter decisions, with running gaps as opposed to the last game. And as for the Titans, also running back Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason, handled the Jets. And I think if Tony Pollard gets going with a few screens and whatnot, I think it could be a nice path to victory, like you said.
Yeah, my players to watch here are going to be Josh Wiley and Quinnen. I think Josh Wiley could be important for sneakily getting third down conversions just on easy dump offs, and Quinnen Williams can be the difference maker in the game.
Sure. Good picks, guys. Up next, we got the Jaguars playing host to the Cleveland Browns. My score prediction is 23-16 in favor of Jacksonville. So one score game, but I think that might not tell the whole story, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. Cleveland could absolutely turn it around, of course. Players to watch in this one, I would love to see more Trevon Walker for the Jaguars in this game. This is like the make or break type of year for him. I think he can break out if he plays well. And again,
He had a good game.
and Cleveland is still missing their tackles, so That could be a matchup problem. And then for the Cleveland Browns, I'm interested in same position, Myles Garrett off the edge. Um, we'll see
Take over this
how
game.
much
Could
he
really
can
take
take
over this
over.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this
Um,
is a game where I picked the Jags 11 points of confidence. I'm fairly certain they're going to win this game, whether it be a defensive showing or offensive showing. I think they win. But the players I have that I want to keep an eye out for are going to be Gabe Davis and his ability to make big plays downfield. And for the Browns, it's going to be Jeremiah Owusu. I want to see if he can make important tackles, stop third downs, get turnovers if possible. He is the person who on that team should be making those turnover worthy plays. So it's really going to be on him to step up and make the.
Right on.
so I have Jags winning, 20-10. I'm looking at Jerome Ford for Cleveland.
Okay.
Maybe a trend with me and picking another running back, but I'm really low on Deshaun right now. I don't think that he can win them this game. But Jerome, he can get going. We've seen him
Yeah.
dominate games before. It could be the case here, but I do think Jags will be solid on defense, just enough for T-Law, which is going to be my pick for the Jags offense. T-Law slash Christian Kirk. I would love to see Christian Kirk, be more
Be Christian
clutch.
Kirk.
Be Christian Kirk, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I was high on him on fantasy. I was really happy with how he played last year, so he can definitely play better than what he did against Miami. So
Mhm.
I'll say those two for the Jags and Jerome Ford for Cleveland, 20-10.
I think the Jags have a really sneaky wide receiver trio.
They do. They do. I like Brian
Yeah.
Thomas a lot as well.
Yeah. I like all three of their main guys. Plus, you have Evan Ingram and Travis Etienne.
Yeah, I like Kevin Ingram a lot.
I don't like Gabe
Yeah.
Davis, but I understand.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I think he's a good wide receiver 3 in the league.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up,
Yeah.
the Baltimore
The
Ravens.
16 points of confidence. If you're picking the Raiders, you might be retarded.
My God.
Yeah, so the Ravens are playing host to the Raiders. I have a 28-20 game. I think the Raiders can get a little bit more on offense going this week. We saw a little bit of shakiness from the Ravens defensively in week 1. Now this could also be just a complete trouncing, and because they're playing a lesser quarterback and everything, like I mentioned earlier in the show. But 28-20 is my score line. Big players to watch for the Ravens. I'm picking Kyle Hamilton in the secondary. He kind of had a rough game in week 1. He wasn't playing the correct position or the Mike McDonald position. So we'll see what happens with him. I think he can really get going here, though, depending on how he's utilized. And then for the Raiders, it's going to be Zamir White and the rushing attack in general. You got to get it going if you want to be competitive in this game and in subsequent games.
Yeah, unlike you, and I'm kind of going to break the formula. This is going to be all Ravens all day. So I'm actually just going to pick 2 players to watch on the Ravens.
Okay.
Give me Roquan Smith. He's going to break this game open for the Ravens. He won't let anything get ran on by the Raiders. And anything that would maybe be good for him, Matabuke is going to cover up anyway. So they're not going to be able to run on the Ravens, I don't think. And then my other player for the Ravens to watch is Mark Andrews, seeing how he can fight back after having a really disappointing performance last week.
Okay.
I think it's a comfortable game for the Ravens. I have 30-17. We saw how solid they were last week. Raiders really underwhelming. But if the Raiders are to win, I think it's gonna be a game where Minshew just explodes and takes over. Just a Gardner Minshew game. And for the Ravens, Derrick Henry would like to see him going a little bit more, not just for the game itself, but for the projection of the season. Lamar and Derrick Henry together hold so much potential for how they can play together, and we just haven't seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a good opportunity to get them going.
I do have one thing I want to bitch about, and why is Justice Hill getting so many touches?
Yeah, again,
well,
that's why I want to see Derrick Henry getting more snaps. But yeah,
one of the
definitely,
things that I think will be an adjustment as the season goes on. Again, because players aren't playing in the preseason and not taking a lot of camp reps, even as, as starters. Derrick Henry's a very north-south rusher, and the Ravens offensively are a lot more spread, a lot more horizontal on offense. So I think there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment and figuring out how to balance out that vertical run game versus the horizontal pass game and vice versa. So I think that is a fairly adequate answer to your question.
Fair.
All right. Next up, the Denver Broncos playing host to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bit of an upset for me here.
Stinker of the week, man.
Could be a stinker of the week for sure.
My God.
I am taking they might be the upset. I imagine Pittsburgh's the
It
favorite.
is. They are.
And it's not like it's going to be, I mean, the Steelers could somehow dominate, I guess, but I'm expecting a really close defensive game, I guess. Big key players to watch for me. Najee Harris and the rushing attack on the Steelers. Establish that run and you probably win this game. And we'll go with the same thing with the Denver Broncos. Their rushing attack, Javonte Williams, establish that run and you might win this game.
I couldn't agree more with you saying Javonte because Bo Nix is not going to win them this game. I'll be surprised if he does, which is why I have DJ Watt, a very boring answer for the Steelers because, I mean, he's just going to be the guy who's going to take over this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 17 or 13 for Steelers simply because of that. And I just don't trust Denver enough to establish Javonte or Bo Nix just yet. But if they do win, Javonte's going to run for like 130 plus or some crazy shit,
Yeah, this is one of my lesser confident picks. This is 5 points of confidence. I'm taking the Steelers in an away game. I don't think they look good. I also don't think the Broncos look good, though. TJ Watt should have a day here. Probably gets a tip pass for an interception. I mean, he's really good at doing that, and this seems like the type of game to do that. Rookie who's going to be throwing short a lot. But if the Broncos were going to win this game, it'd be by continuing to execute on those short passes and then hitting 1, 2, maybe 3 deep passes in the game, probably to Marvin Mims or Troy Franklin, and then playing solid defense. So guys to watch here are going to be really Bo Nix and his ability to handle the pressure. And then obviously for the Steelers, it's going to be if Justin Fields can avoid turnovers for 2 weeks in a row and
I would have
continue to
loved
execute.
I would have loved to see Wilson start this game, playing in
I
Denver.
wouldn't have. I just don't care.
That's
I
what
mean, but
the
you gotta
NFL
think
guys
about it.
wanted. That's what they wanted.
But think about it if you're Mike Tomlin, right?
Fire in
Fields
the gut.
No. I mean, sure. Fields gets the call because Russ is hurt, and Fields does enough, doesn't turn the ball over. But Russ was your starter, but there was always a competition. So how do you go from there? Does Russ become the starter again?
Yeah, Russ is still the starter.
But then they're gonna keep flip flopping.
Fields didn't win the game
I don't
in
know.
Atlanta. That's the thing. Did he even have like 20 passes? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But
he threw for 100 yards.
Yeah.
No, he did. He did.
It was
He
like they needed him to touch the ball as little as possible to win that game. So I understand Jacob's point about, limiting turnovers from him and stuff, but I just don't think he's going to be involved enough to but I respect your take,
Other
of course.
player to watch would be Najee, to be honest.
Yeah.
So sick of Najee. Oh my God.
Yep.
So sick of the Steelers.
Dude, rushing Patterson more than Warren? What the fuck are we doing? Anyway.
Oh,
that pissed me off, dude.
Another confident pick here. Give me the Chiefs with 12 points of confidence. I feel like this is going to be a fair. The way the Bengals have is just outright disgraceful to the game. I'm just sick of them as a team. Players to watch. Is T. Higgins going to be healthy here? If so, what can he do to help this team win the game? For the Chiefs, it's going to be Marquise Brown. I'm pretty sure he's going to be back this week in a limited role, but if he is on the field, he could be a very effective player for those big shot plays. And I think if he is on the field, he probably gets more of a snap percentage than Xavier Worthy based on his experience in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll go with the Chiefs as well. I'll be there with you as well, Anthony. 27-17. I think that's about where I stand. For the Chiefs, I want to see Xavier Worthy going again. He might get some snaps taken away if Hollywood plays, but he's still gonna be in there. And like I think with the touches he gets, he might break the game open. He's
I
just a
mean,
game changer like that.
he really didn't do much last week.
No,
I'm still
okay, I
Oh,
get,
come on.
look.
he only touched the ball 3 times. Yes, I don't think Barufi's saying that he's going to touch the ball 9 times or whatever in the game. But
This is a completely separate rant that I just forgot to have last week. Go ahead and finish, and then I'll talk about it.
oh, so my point, I guess, I think Barufi's trying to make is with those 3 touches, he was super explosive, and
Yeah, that's
and
exactly my
yes,
point.
one of them is a blown coverage. I get that, but you have to give some credit to him, for what
Not
he did.
really.
Yes, you can. You have to, even if it's 20% credit on that play. That's 20% of credit. And on the end around, that was just a fantastic display of his short burst of speed and getting
Vision, burst,
just
yep.
running right through the defense, basically.
Well, the
So
end around is great. I don't discredit that, but also we've seen multiple Chiefs receivers do this. Like he's not the only one that's been able to do that.
no, and the worthy super glazers and Chiefs fans obviously are blowing it out of proportion, but I don't think many like true NFL fans are doing that. I think most of us have pretty reasonable takes on what happened.
Dude, there was multiple people tweeting that Worthy is the new wide receiver.
But he
I've
could,
seen people saying Worthy is the new Tyreek Hill. Like I don't agree with that either. All I'm saying
yeah,
is, with few touches, he can do damage, and I'll stand by that.
yeah. I see where you're coming
Um,
from for sure.
so I'll stick with Worthy as my name to watch for the Chiefs. Simply because I want to see him getting those touches and be explosive. I was a fan of him out of the draft. Cincinnati. Uh, Again, I would like to see more from Burrow. I started talking about him earlier today. Just saying like, when are we gonna hold him accountable? Like we've seen him be a phenomenal player, and like we have to see more of that. We don't know how much his wrist is bothering him. We don't want to see that. Like I want to see him have a good game, and if the Bengals do win, it's gonna be through that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think he should have to depend on T Higgins being available. Burrow being Burrow with Jamar Chase, they can get away with this game if they're the Bengals
Mm-hmm.
that they're supposed to be.
To me, I think the 2 players to watch are pretty obvious. As Barufi said, my score is KC 27, Cincinnati 17. The 2 players I'm watching is number 1, Isaiah Pacheco on the Chiefs. The New England Patriots had a really great game on the ground with Ramondre Stevenson, and that kind of controlled and told the story of their offense and their ability to just stay in the lead and keep the ball, with time of possession. If Pacheco can really get going in this game, I don't think there's going to be much necessity to pass. Like, obviously it's Mahomes; they're going to pass the ball, but if they can get this run game going, that's going to be a big separator in this game. For the Bengals, it's going to be Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has had monster games against Cincinnati in the past. If he is playing at full strength, he is a big separator in this game and a really big chance for them to win this game if Jamar Chase is at full strength.
This is another game where last week, for example, with the Bengals, we were talking about the Patriots and they could win this game. And there's this kind of like, I don't know what it was, but there's this feeling that the Patriots are very not very likely, but have a good chance of winning this game. I feel like with this one, we're picking the Chiefs. We're saying, oh, the Bengals could win this game. But I just don't have the feeling that the Bengals could win this game. I really don't. Based off everything I've seen from both these teams, I don't think the Bengals are in this game at all.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like the Chiefs are going to comfortably win this game. The Bengals might have a couple flashy plays to get them back in it, but I think the Chiefs are going to be in the lead for the entirety of this game unless the Bengals score first.
Yeah, and as we said, we both agree with you. We have a 10-point spread here.
Right.
Just not ruling anything out.
Yeah.
Did you give your players?
I did. Well, I did. I gave T. Higgins and Marquise Brown.
Okay, that's right. All right. Now we have the AFC versus NFC matchups, starting with the Indianapolis Colts on the road against the Green Bay Packers. Really tough loss for the Packers losing Jordan Love. Malik Willis is going to
Honestly,
be
for
filling
both teams.
in relief. Who's the big loss on Indianapolis? Oh, Juju Brents.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, but I thought you were just saying like tough loss last week in general.
Oh no, I just meant losing Love. But
Yeah,
yes,
no.
there were two tough losses for the teams. But Malik Willis couldn't understand a playbook in Tennessee for 2 years. Uh, he's probably going to be really bad. Maybe 20 points is a little generous, but I think they can establish the run. So the player for the Packers is going to be Josh Jacobs. If they can sort of try to manage that, they have a better chance of winning the game. For the Colts, I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson. See what happens.
Yeah, this is another one of my lesser confident picks. I only gave this points, and that's because I'm picking the Packers. I think this is going to be a lot like what the Bengals did the year Joe Burrow got injured, and it was who was that redheaded quarterback that they had? I can't think of his name. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Are you talking about Andy Dalton?
No, it's not Andy Dalton. Like we were making memes about him being a clone of Andy Dalton, but it was Burrow's backup in like 2020 when he was a rookie.
I don't remember.
Guy's
I don't
name.
remember that.
But it was when the Steelers were 11-0 and the Bengals came in and beat them on a read option heavy game plan. I think the Packers are going to come in here and do a read option heavy offense. And I think they're going to be successful with it. I think they're going to control the clock the entirety of the game, and they're going to come away with a win if they.
Ryan Finley?
It's Ryan Finley. That's it.
It says Brandon Allen played 5 games that year.
There's number 5. Go lower. Lower, right there.
1 start. Oh, bad
It was the
gateway.
ones. Am I not? No, it would have been 2020 because that was his rookie year. Yeah,
Yes.
Ryan Finley had
Yeah.
a game where he ran the read option against, I think it was the Steelers, but they won
Yeah,
a game
his
they
page
should
is
have
just
won.
gone. His page doesn't exist anymore, apparently.
Yeah, look it up on Google because that shit crazy.
Damn. Here, let me try and just look up Ryan Finley. Yeah.
This is the Andy Dalton clone. He looks like a Burrow clone.
No, he doesn't. Both of those comparisons are wrong. Holy shit.
He looks like my neighbor, bro.
He could be your neighbor. Who knows?
Right?
I wonder if we click on it, it'll work. Hey, there we go. Excellent. All right. Cool. You were saying? Sorry.
Found his page and then didn't look at a single thing.
No.
Anyways, I think this is going to be a run heavy game plan for the Packers. I think they're going to be able to run the read option decently well and probably come away with, not probably, but I think they're going to come away with a win as long as they can get not probably, but as long as they can get 2 turnovers and stay positive on turnover differential, I think they'll win this game.
Listen, it's hard for me to. I really thought about going with the Packers here, because the Colts have their inconsistencies and whatnot, but I'll still go with the Colts because I'm not really high on Malik Willis whatsoever. I have 30-17 for the Colts. Player to watch for the Colts is Zaire Franklin because he's going to be in charge of mostly stopping my name for the Packers, Josh Jacobs, because if the Packers are to win, they're going to be under Josh Jacobs. I'm excited for this game, though, because I also want to see more of AR. It might be too early for him to be more consistent, but, baby steps, right? So we'll see how he looks this week.
Also, speaking of Malik Willis, fuck you, Pacer. You're a bitch.
Oh, no. Another potential stinker of the week here, right?
Yeah, no
Yes.
need to disparage our fellow people. I understand you're upset, but well, the viewers already have like very little idea what we talk about when we're talking fantasy. Now we're insulting people.
Yes.
All right. Another potential stinker here. Chargers at Carolina. I've got the Chargers winning by a touchdown, 23-16. Maybe a little bit generous on both sides for the scoring here. But we will see.
Dude, I found it. Okay. The 11-2 Steelers were in Cincinnati against the 3-9-1, or sorry, 2-10-1 Bengals. And the Bengals won 27-17 on a Ryan Finley rushing masterpiece.
That's huge. Fantastic.
It
Good for
is.
them.
All right, moving on.
My X factor here for the Chargers is J.K. Dobbins, and the rushing attack in general, but mostly J.K. Dobbins because he was the most featured back last week. If he can get more explosive runs going again and they can control this game offensively, I think it'll be a pretty good game for them. The way that the Panthers win this is Bryce Young looks like an NFL quarterback. So that's my player.
Oh, so if he looks like an NFL quarterback, the Chargers are winning or the Panthers are winning?
No, it's
Well,
not a
that's the only
guarantee.
way they can win.
Yeah, the only way they can is if Bryce Young actually looks like an NFL quarterback.
All right. Well, I'll do you one better.
Sure.
Okay.
They can't win.
No. Calm down. Calm down. It's the NFL. It's the NFL. Okay. But 16-13 for the Chargers. Okay. My name to watch for the Chargers is Harbaugh slapping Herbert. Okay. And as for the Panthers is if David Tepper resigns.
Oh,
A
these
very
are fun ones.
very potential stinker right here. But the Panthers one is serious, by the way. But as for the Chargers one, I think I'll stick with Dobbins. You said it yourself. He had a few good runs last game. And I mean this Panthers front. Not gonna be hard to run on them. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
I mean,
Derek
I'm
Brown's
gonna-
out.
they're not gonna need Herbert to do a whole lot. And now Derek Brown's out, yeah, absolutely. But no, seriously, David Tepper. I feel for Panthers fans. That's the worst thing you can have as an NFL fan, right? Is if the owner's such a massive reason on why you're failing because you can't fire the fucking owner. Like, you know, you can always
Fair.
put the blame on the head coach and like, yeah, fucking, you know, like bring in Antonio Pierce of, you know, the Antonio Pierce of your roster to coach you that year.
Dude, Barufi is crashing and burning over here. Jacob, you gotta help him out, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Please.
Shut up. I need him to
Come
stop
on,
talking.
come on.
God.
Come on, guys. All I'm
Give me
saying
the
is,
Chargers.
Dude, you were
Give
like a
me
fucking
the
politician
Chargers.
out there filibustering. It was unbelievable.
You just didn't want to give me the fucking
I'll
chair,
summarize it.
dude.
I'll summarize it. Fuck David Tepper. Move on.
Perfect.
Yeah, we all hate him. Moving on. Chargers are beating the Panthers. What do you want to know about it? Will Disley is going to pop off because the Panthers
Will
cannot
Disley.
stop tight ends to save their fucking life. They proved it last week. The Foster Moreau and Juwan James are, or not Juwan James, Juwan James are two of the top tight ends in the league. If those two are top tight ends in the league, Will Disley going to pop off.
My God, Will Disley lover.
And
He
if
said-
Will
he
Disley
said-
doesn't pop off, fuck you. The
He said-
Panthers player to watch, give me Chuba Hubbard. This is supposed to be a bad rushing offense, or sorry, a bad rushing defense. And I think the only way the Panthers have a chance of winning is if Chuba Hubbard gets 150 yards.
Ooh.
Do you
I said
guys
it.
do you guys remember the era of Chuba Hubbard being like the fantasy sleeper? Everyone was like, "Oh, Chuba Hubbard, man, draft Chuba Hubbard."
I mean, I've always been a Chuba Hubbard guy because I watched him play against my team all year. Or every year.
Jacob, you when you were talking about Juwan Johnson, you said not Juwan James, but Juwan James.
I'm the one crashing out. Yeah,
all time rant. That was
sure.
great.
Will Disley,
Yeah.
he's going to go crazy.
Not Juwan Jones,
2 touchdowns for Will Disley.
but Juwan Jones.
All right. Next up, Seattle's gonna win over the Patriots. I don't know what
Are
I'm
they?
gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do if the Patriots win 2 games in a row here. I have no
You don't know
goddamn
what you're
idea.
gonna do? What I don't know what I'm gonna do. They're in my fucking division. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable
yeah.
if that happens.
Seattle's gonna win 26-16. You heard it here first, folks. Mark your calendars. The
Mm-mm.
the X
It's March.
factors here. I'm gonna say it. I said it earlier when we were talking about Pacheco, but Ramondre Stevenson, I think is gonna,
Yep.
just a player to watch. Plain and
Or
simple.
or White. Or White.
Yeah. And then for the Seahawks, it's going to be Geno Smith. See how he can do after not a great first week.
Yeah, nobody's watching this game except for Seahawks fans, and Patriots fans stopped caring about football once Tom Brady got traded. So go ahead and give me the Seahawks because
How
obviously
confident are you?
just barely more confident than the Bills game. This is my 8 points of confidence pick
Ooh.
You're more confident in this.
than the
Anyways.
Bills beating the Dolphins. Yeah, I mean the Dolphins are actually a good team. The Patriots suck.
Fair is
What's
Okay,
fair.
what more is
I
there?
misunderstood. I misunderstood then. Okay. Um.
Fair is fair.
I listen. This has fucking upset written all over it. Honestly, it's in New England. It's a good defense. It's upset written all over it, and I
Just
hate
like
it.
the New England in week
I
one, just upset
absolutely
written
hate it.
all over it.
No, it didn't.
It
Which makes it
shouldn't
worse,
have.
right?
It shouldn't have.
Yeah, but I mean, this one, I'm scared for this game. If I see, oh my god, the Patriots win this fucking game. Listen, Seattle's gonna win this game. They're not gonna disappoint me. DK Metcalf, my name is gonna go ballistic. Okay,
All right.
and that's for the Patriots. No one, because I want to see them lose this game.
Okay.
Kyle Duggar
Damn.
could be good.
Yeah. He could force another fumble at the goal line.
True.
Okay.
I'll
Give
say
me
20. I'll say 20-16 though.
Sure.
Give me Sam Howell to pop off because Gino's gonna get.
Wow.
Dude,
Oh
holy
my
shit.
god.
This crash out is
Pause.
lasting through multiple picks. Okay.
If that happens now, I'm getting investigated.
You're
Not
you're
only
you're goddamn
you're
Nostradamus if that happens. Holy shit.
yeah.
Dude, all right. Is everyone picking the Texans? Because this is pretty confident pick here.
Yeah, I like
I
the
am.
Texans quite a
Yeah.
bit. I still only have a one-score game, but that's not
Well,
telling the story,
what if
obviously, with my prediction. Pretty comfortable game. The factors here, Caleb Williams, if he looks like an NFL
Yeah.
quarterback this week. And then for the X factor for the Houston Texans is actually going to be Joe Mixon for me.
Ooh,
He
I was
actually
gonna
had
have a different guy.
he actually had a pretty good game against Indianapolis last week. And I
According to
think,
Cameron, top 5.
yeah, fucking okay. But I'm just interested to see how he is all season, because the consensus take was that he's a little washed now, but we'll see what happens. So I'm keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, I feel like Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs both had the little wash tag right next to them, but this is going to be a pretty clear win. Give me Will Anderson as for the Texans, and then give me Gervin Dexter for the Bears.
Okay, he had a pretty good week one.
I have 30-20 for the Texans. But this could be a really good game, If Texans defense enables Caleb and like you said to yourself, make Caleb look like an NFL quarterback. So Caleb, my name as well. For the Bears, got to get him going. And Texans,
What about Gervin Dexter, bro?
no, don't give me that shit. I'll say CJ Stroud. Want to see him have more of a CJ Stroud game. Opposite
Boo,
to,
boo, two quarterbacks. Boo.
but I mean it makes sense. Okay, Caleb one is obvious, right?
Yeah,
Caleb one is obvious, and
I
CJ
thought
Stroud
Gervin
one.
Dexter was pretty obvious.
And I just want to see CJ have a comeback game, opposite from last week. That's
sure.
all.
Fair enough. Fair is fair.
But I'll give you Sam Darnold then for this next game if that's what you want.
Do what you want, man. Um,
If you
this
don't
one.
pick David Bell, what are you or Ronnie Bell?
Okay, all right.
What are you doing?
Okay. All right, buddy.
Give me the Niners. This is my second most confident pick of the week. They're gonna shit all over the Vikings. They're gonna make Sam Darnold regret leaving. He should have stayed a backup for San Fran.
My God.
Okay. Perfect. Fantastic. Awesome. Amazing. Wonderful. I'm
But
taking
also, Jordan Addison is gonna pop off for my fantasy team.
well, we'll see. I'm taking the Niners 10-point spread here, 30-20 victory. I think it's just going to be really tough to stop this offense. Now the Vikings have had kind of a matchup advantage, especially last season. Purdy's worst game of last season was probably against the Vikings. So that'll be interesting to see. And for that reason, Brock Purdy, on a team of a lot of people that I could pick, Brock Purdy's going to be my player to watch in this one. I want to see how he attacks that defense. And then for the Vikings, you swine.
Say Sam
Harrison
Darnold.
Smith.
No, it's going to be Dallas Turner.
No, it's not. It's going to be Harrison Smith.
Okay.
It's Harrison
Huge-
Smith's ability
huge
to
Harrison
cover
Smith
George Kittle and get turnovers. That is going to be the reason that keeps the Vikings in the game.
All right.
I was going a similar route, but different name here. Very much so different name. I have 33-17 Niners. But for the Vikings, I think the name to watch is Flores. If you can create good play designs for the Vikings and create pressure on Purdy, might be the way. Obviously, Purdy handles pressure well, but I think you can't leave him comfortable in the pocket. And Flores is a great play designer on defense, so I'll have Flores
Bad
on
person.
defense.
Good play designer.
He's a great tactician, not a people guy. I'll tell you that. As for the Niners, Brandon Ayuk, he was catching a lot of heat for holding out, yada yada, not practicing. And Peyton Manning, I'm sure you saw what Peyton Manning
I
said.
did.
Yeah. So, and I don't fully disagree with him. You're not.
Well, and
you're kinda
also,
rusty.
I feel like his comment was more of a critique on both sides, not getting a deal done, not just Ayuk, which I think some
I
people
agree.
took it as an Ayuk
But
diss.
but still to me, Ayuk is part of that, right? And I want to see him going, and knocking some rust off.
Mm-hmm.
33-17.
Cool.
Listen, now this next game, Jacob, might put you down to earth. Okay.
This is my least confident pick of the week.
Yeah, you're picking Saints.
Give me the Saints 1 point of confidence so it doesn't feel bad when I lose.
Who are your players?
Players to watch are going to be Chris Olave versus Trayvon Diggs.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right, I'll do you one better, Jacob.
Yeah.
All right, first off, I'll say 33-20 for the Cowboys, and
That's
I want to see
bullshit.
I want to see Zeke
How
score
dare
3
you
tutties
have the
on you.
Cowboys covering the spread?
I want to see Ezekiel Elliott score 3 touchdowns on you.
There's no shot you have a washed running back scoring 3 touchdowns on that defensive line.
It would make me so happy.
It's not happening. What is your beef with the Saints, bro?
You
Valid.
okay?
Fantastic.
And and as for the Saints, I'll say Derek Carr. Have him. Go.
Boo!
It's your quarterback. It's your quarterback.
Okay, my issue was 2 quarterbacks in the same game. All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bro, I was gonna
Derek
say Trey Lance.
My score prediction is
Yeah.
Dallas 31, New Orleans 24. Maybe New Orleans is
Y'all-
going to be more competitive than everyone thought. They could be a really frisky
Y'all better
team.
pray to God that the Saints don't win this game because I will be insufferable.
I'll just kick you off the show. But so yeah, I think a lot of this does hinge on how Carr performs against this Dallas, not only secondary but pass rush. So he's going to be my player to watch. And then for the Cowboys, fun one here, Brandon Aubrey, their kicker.
He's a goat.
He's
Did you see
actually
they
insanely good.
lined him up
Speaking
for
of kick-
a 71-yard
speaking of
attempt?
kickers,
They should have
Tucker-
gone for it, bro.
I wish they did. It would have been interesting.
speaking of kickers, Justin Tucker has fallen off.
Oh yeah, we got to start
I
having
said
a
this last
conversation.
season.
Yeah, but now
Yeah,
it's
but it's bad, dude.
now it's just
He doesn't have the leg anymore.
Hmm.
Father Time has caught up with the goat of kickers.
Jason Sanders is better. Is
Adam
my prediction.
Vinatieri-
All right.
Adam Vinatieri deserves some credit for kicking into his 43s.
Are there
to be
multiple
honest.
43s?
Yes.
Oh.
You got 43.1. You got 43.2.
That's news to me.
There's even 43.3, bro.
God.
Well, fuck. I mean, there was a point too. What was I expecting?
Listen,
You are fucking on something right now. Holy shit. God.
Listen,
The Giants are not beating Washington. What the fuck is that pick?
The pick,
you know,
if
I
I can explain, is the
yeah.
brutal fucking secondary for Washington. That
They're both brutal.
no, New York's not only New York's secondary is significantly better right now. Their defense overall, I think, can get going here. So my players to watch are going to be Brian Burns off the edge for the New York Giants. And then for Washington, it's going to hinge on Jaden Daniels. Runner-up honorable mention is Dan Quinn and how he coaches the secondary.
The Giants are stinky. The fact that their D line couldn't do shit last week pisses me off. How do you have Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau, and you can't do shit? That's pathetic. Give me Washington. Give me Washington winning this game pretty confidently. They're going to put up quite a bit of points here because they're not going to be easy to stop. I think this is going to be a Terry McLaurin breakout game for this year because he hasn't really done much, given that he wasn't thrown to at all. Yeah, give me the Washington Commanders 9 confidence points.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't disagree more. Again,
I honestly might fall asleep watching this game.
this
I'm
is
not
going to be
even
super
exaggerating.
close for me, but I think the reasons you stated are kind of rough takes.
What time is this game, Anthony?
This is
No.
morning.
Morning your time, dickhead.
The better way to watch football.
Fuck.
I'll be watching this
Yeah.
game with fucking a breakfast burrito or some shit.
Bro's going to have a bowl of Frosted Flakes watching Luke McCaffrey pop off.
You have no idea how much I want that, Anthony. Privileged.
Join us.
Yeah.
Join us.
Fuck. I'll
If
tell
it
you
was
that.
in California in that time zone,
California is okay. You know what? We're not having this conversation right now. Next up, the
Okay, yeah.
Lions playing host to the Bucks.
I didn't give my pick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did.
No, listen. Again, I'm probably gonna fall asleep watching this game. I'll say 2017 Commanders. Um, might be the neighbors game. Because I'm not gonna sit here and say after 6 years Daniel Jones is gonna lock in and go crazy.
Neighbors is going to pop off, doing
But
everything he can to catch balls that are outside his catch radius.
yes, Ducks, absolutely. And
It's going to be thrown on his back heel, and he's going to somehow catch it.
I want to see more of Jaden Daniels. Some promising stuff last week, right? And this is a good defense to test. And maybe test is not the right word, but maybe
Sure.
maybe it turns out a fun game, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, could be. Could very well
Neighbors
be.
Daniels, right? Neighbors Daniels,
Yeah.
the rookie.
Yeah. Cool.
Now this game is good though. This game is
This
good.
upcoming game is the game of the week here.
Is
You
it?
think it's better than Buffalo and Miami?
I think so. Mostly because Buffalo is sloppy. But this game here is going to be electric. It's going to have the best 2 run games in the NFC, not named the 49ers, going at it. And I cannot wait to watch this.
You're simply wrong, buddy.
No, I'm not.
The Cowboys have a better run game with Zeke Elliott running 3 touchdowns on you.
All right. You could have at least mentioned
But
one of the teams that has a good run game.
Yeah, you could have mentioned the Eagles.
The Eagles, the
suck.
Cardinals, the Saints,
No, it's Ezekiel Elliott and Deuce Vaughn. My picks.
No shot.
That's all
This is
AFC.
this is a 4 confidence point pick because I'm taking the Bucks in the upset.
Yeah, the only problem with the upset for me is the secondary injuries. I think will make it a lot easier
Antoine
for.
Winfield is going to be a huge shot, but Baker looks so much better than he did last week.
That's fair. And listen, if Winfield was playing, and who else got injured? Someone else got injured. But if they were playing this game, I'd probably pick in the Bucks too. But those secondary injuries, I think, are going to cause a lot of problems, and it's going to keep Detroit on the field. So for that reason, my players to watch are going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown, getting into the game. He only had 2 catches for 8 yards last week. And then for the Buccaneers, we're going to go with Rachaad White. I'm interested to see the season he's going to have.
Okay, I know I said run games are going to be huge, but I'm actually going to say James Millen is a player to watch for the Bucks, and then I'm going to go with Aiden Hutchinson for the Lions.
Cool.
This is a really tough game. Lions, they love to run the ball. Probably won't be able to as much this game.
Vita Vea.
I'm expecting a decent amount of points though. I'll say 30-27 for the Lions.
Is it just me, or when you guys see Vita Vea, do you just think Doritos?
Okay?
It's just you.
Something's deeply wrong with you. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. Really,
We go past the
is that what
2 hour
I'm
mark
saying?
and he loses his marbles.
Is that what I was saying?
I'm sorry.
You went the route of Amora. I'll go with Laporta. Similar boat there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Catching up from last week.
Both amazing players.
And from the Bucks, I'll say Baker. Continuing the hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a phenomenal player again this
Mm-hmm.
week. But also Mike Evans, just a grown man. He's a grown man playing football.
Facts.
Not a lot of grown
Mike
men play
Evans.
football.
Mike Evans is the most Dane Campbell guy not in the Lions.
Okay, all right.
I don't know about that.
That's obviously like a Fred Warner or something.
I was gonna say a Nick Bosa.
No, Nick Bosa's too
Mike
quiet.
Evans is up there. Mike Evans is
I thought you
up
were gonna
there.
say too racist.
Jalen
All right.
Ramsey's up there. But definitely Mike Evans for sure up there.
That's how a white man runs a football.
Yeah, boy. All right, this is another low confidence pick, which so far you guys haven't questioned a single low confidence being lower than the Bills, by the way. But I'm picking the Cardinals here.
Cool. Me too.
I'm the only one picking the Rams.
Yeah. Players to watch in this game are gonna be what's the name? Greg Dortch, because he's gonna pop off, I think. He's gonna get a little bit overlooked by the Rams second. Probably get like 3 catches for like 80 yards and a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then for the Rams, the player to watch is obviously Kyron Williams. He can set the tone for this game and really control the time of the session. If they want to win, it's going to be through him.
Oh yeah, not Matthew Stafford.
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Lovely. All right. Lovely. So, super. This smells like such a good game to me. I'll say 27-24 Rams. Name for me for the Rams is going to be Tyler Johnson. Cooper being the one, Tyler being the number 2. I think. Obviously Cooper probably goes
I
crazy.
think
But,
Whittington is above Johnson, is he not?
Tyler had a great game last week. I'm not sure.
Is DeMarcus Robinson not going to be playing either?
DeMarcus
Is he
will
even
play.
on the Rams anymore?
Yeah, he is. Rams have a deep room. God damn.
No, they don't.
They do. I mean, but Tyler had a great game last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm watching for him to continue it, taking up the wide receiver 2 role. And for the Cardinals, James Conner.
I was
I'm
high on
pretty
Tyler
sure.
Johnson out of Minnesota, and now I can't even remember who drafted. Wasn't he drafted the Bucks?
I don't remember.
I do not remember either. If you don't remember, I don't remember.
Yeah, that's that's fair.
Yeah. In my opinion, these are another two super obvious picks that aren't the quarterbacks. For the Rams side, I've got Cooper Kupp. This guy's going to catch 15 balls today, or not today, but on Sunday. So
Yeah,
keep an eye out
your
for him.
perception of time today is just not there. Is it?
All right. Okay. All right.
It's just not there.
What's worse, my perception of time or Jacob's image sending?
Everything.
Uh,
I thought you were gonna, dude. Honestly, I've been fucking up everything. I'm just such a liability to this podcast.
all right. We don't have to.
You really like sat here and said, "Am I the only one that thinks of Vita Vea and thinks of Doritos?" I mean, come on.
Dude, he has 2 V's in his name. Doritos are V.
No, they're
The science
triangles.
is
They're
there.
triangles, not V's. Don't do this. You're going down a path I can't follow. I don't know you
Good
anymore.
Good reference.
Jacob,
You
you're
turned
breaking my
her
heart.
against me. You
You've
will
done
not
that.
take it from me.
No, Dorito is crazy, bro.
Only an
I thought
idiot
maybe
deals in
because he's a.
absolutes.
You know what I thought of, Jacob? Maybe I was being a little bit fat phobic because he's a big
Oh,
dude in Doritos. Listen, not intentional at all, by the way.
sure. That's what you call it.
But
You were thinking I was being fat phobic?
listen, that's what I thought.
Wow, that's fucked up, man.
Okay.
But
Well,
listen, your VV Doritos theory is goofy. It sounds funny.
yeah, it is goofy.
It's- I swear to God, I'm not high. Anyways,
Maybe.
Eagles Falcons
What?
Monday Night Football.
What? I didn't get to say my Cardinals player. It's James Conner.
Okay,
Uh,
Eagles Falcons
Just because
Monday Night Football. This game is gonna piss me off, and it's purely because Bijan Robinson is gonna miss every single hole. He's gonna run into tackles, and I'm gonna get angry.
Pause. Miss Holes?
Yes,
Yo.
bro's whole game is weak.
Okay. Is that your player to watch?
No,
Okay.
my player to watch is Kirk
It's just
Cousins
hate
here.
watching.
Kirk
He's gonna be
Cousins
hate
needs to be
watching.
able to bounce back. Also, why the fuck does Kirk Cousins keep playing the Eagles on Monday Night Football
In week
in
2.
Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't
three
make
3 years
sense.
in a row now. Pretty
Yeah, it
funny.
is. But no, Kirk Cousins has to bounce back. His O line has to play better. Can't let an edge rusher take over the game. Um, Player to watch for the Eagles is going to be Nolan Smith. See what he can do. See if he can step up and be a decent edge rusher because the Falcons' offensive line has clearly not been what it was presented as. And then my player to watch for the is actually going to be two players. It's going to be Jesse Bates and Jalen Hurts showed that he wasn't very accurate downfield passes. And I think that Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates are both very capable of turning the ball over, especially with a risky quarterback. So I think they can be difference makers if the Falcons are going to win this game.
Very
Okay.
good point on the safeties. I agree. Very good safety tandem. Could probably hinder the Eagles throwing the middle of the field, which is why AJ Brown's gonna be my name for the Eagles. Probably a lot of jump balls in the sideline. That's what he excels in. And for the Falcons, I say Drake London and Kirk. Start building that connection slowly. Still a little high on London and Kirk. I said it earlier. I'm not completely down to the Falcons yet, but I do think the Eagles win, and I'll say 30-20.
Okay. My score prediction is 27-16 in favor of the Eagles. I'm going to go with a direct matchup for my players to watch because I think the story of the game might be told in this way if the Falcons come alive offensively. And that's Bijan Robinson for them. And then for the Eagles side, it's going to be Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter up the middle and how they rotate
The
them
Georgia
around.
Bulldogs.
Yes. Well, Nolan Smith for your pick, too. And then Nakobe Dean at linebacker. Like, they got them all, man. All. So those are my picks for the players to watch. And that is our week 2 predictions.
Review, preview, right?
Yes, review preview. Lovely stuff.
We should call it that.
Yes. That's a
Can we
great idea.
trademark that?
No, probably not.
Damn it.
But
Guys,
yeah.
I'm picking up Will Disley and starting him.
All right, you have fun with that.
I'm
Okay.
starting Zeke. I'm doing it.
You should do it. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I guess we can wrap there if we are all good with it. You guys have anything else you guys want to talk about briefly? Any
Yeah, can you
talking
just
points?
open? I do have one thing I want you to show to the screen.
The presidential debate?
No.
Dude, it was so bad.
Let me pull it up for you.
A trouncing, if you will.
I don't think it was trouncing. I don't think either of them looked good.
No, one of them clearly looked better.
No, looks better for sure. I said good.
Where is it?
Actually, I just found the perfect meme.
That's great.
All right. Look in general. I need
In
you to show this
general?
to the screen. Real quick. Not in
Oh.
general, sorry.
What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, I did just see that.
Put this back on. What is this?
What does it look like to you?
Oh, the
Fuck the
retro
Bills.
jerseys. Oh,
Retro jerseys and middle fingers to the Bills. Fuck the Bills.
all right. That was fantastic. I'm so glad you showed me that. My entire take on that game is
This
now
is-
reinvigorated. So.
Oh my god. I apologize. Please forget about what I just said.
What?
Please forget about what I just said.
Okay. Wiped from memory.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess if that's all we got, then that's all we got. I did watch Beetlejuice today.
How did that go?
How was it?
Not great. It was okay.
Ooh.
Probably about the same, or at least in the ballpark rating that I have the original. Beetlejuice is actually in this one, unlike the first one where he's barely in the movie. So that was cool. Michael Keaton is really fun in that role, really energetic. There was a lot of interesting and cool stuff and good bits, and the costumes are great and everything, but really overstuffed with subplots, and none of them are really developed or delivered in an interesting enough way. So yeah, just kind of like a very average film. If you enjoy Beetlejuice, you probably enjoy this one. So that's my quick review of that. I
Dude, I
have
don't know why, but whenever I heard the new Beetlejuice movie was being made, I just felt like sorry, I cut out. Walking for the role.
you
Fuck.
cut out again.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix would have been perfect for Beetlejuice.
I disagree completely. That is not a Joaquin role, in my opinion, at all. I think, and again, same thing. Like, I don't think Keaton needs to be recast. I think he's really,
I mean,
really
it's
great.
already done.
And he again, he's good in the role. So,
God damn it, Nick Castellanos hit a home run on 9/11.
oh no. Oh, another thing, which is very uncharacteristic for the past few weeks. The Giants won tonight, and they won 13-2.
No.
It's because I wasn't hate watching, man.
I guess,
Fuck.
yeah, that might have been it. They won 13-2 today, so that was cool. Yeah. Then the other thing, the last quick thing I wanted to talk about as far as movies are concerned, I now have over 50 movies of the year logged and watched. So if you want to check out all my rankings for them, at the end of the year, I will be doing a grand segment on all the movies that I watched ranked, and just very briefly, rank and talk about them in maybe one sentence each. So stay tuned for that at the end of the year. But if you want to check out how I rank them live, my Letterboxd account as well as Jacob's will be pinned in the descriptions on both Spotify and YouTube. And if Roofy
Yes,
ever makes one,
sir.
it will be pinned as well.
Yes.
All right. Boys, is that it?
Encoded.
Yeah, I think so. Go watch USC Noche at your Wild Wings.
All right. This
Phenomenal.
has been Coast to Coast.